audience. I have to go check on my friend. It's sad with them.
Whatever she just said, I couldn't hear her at all.
Yeah.
I need to go check on my French fries.
It's gonna be that.
She's checking on her French fries. Yeah, I think it's gonna be one of those.
Everyone else is coming in. Everyone else is coming in pretty clear, but she's super choppy for some reason.
Let's look at that.
Where's me honey? There we go.
Or this is session 28. You guys have been playing for 28 sessions.
Not me.
And you just got a name. I mean, you kind of had the name. I was trying to steer you in a different direction, but I think that this name is just who you are. And the Bums of Greenest it is. It just had to be.
I know Pat really wanted like the nameless ones.
I wanted it too, but you just have to let it be what it is.
We all just need to face the facts of who we are.
Yeah, you are who you are.
Bums.
And as our legend,
so many names.
as our legend and our story grows, it doesn't have to stay the same either. It can always change depending on.
You've killed a lot of people through their butts. You've touched a lot of butts. You've tried to see a lot of butts that were covered and
ask about the butts first.
You couldn't see the butts. So I think that
it only makes sense.
It only makes sense.
Until one of us thinks of a better pun that's ast related.
I did look up the German word for it, Hintern, which does not sound that bad if you added something.
Something powerful about saying bum, though.
Yeah. But you
Powerful about what?
being saying bum. Look at that bum. Look at this bum.
Dude, bum is a great word. It's so much better than butt.
Ah, that's much better.
It's cute. It makes it always cute.
This chiming is.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Excellent. Ah, that's much better. Okay.
You can hear us?
Yes.
All right.
This whole time I pictured you as some little short person. Maybe that's why it's freaking me out. Like regular size.
You know, I am fairly short.
Oh, right. It really is freaking me out. It's not how I pictured him at all. Like so short in miniature. Like I kind of picture Cuba that way all the time. I kind of view as Erdnot.
I am short.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not very tall.
I just see Erdnot.
Hmm.
It's a good thing because you play a character really well.
Until the
Become
next character.
Erdnot. No, it's gonna be weird when you're somebody else.
I have 3 or 4 backup characters. 2 of them are 90% fleshed out, and the other 2 are like 40% fleshed out. Thinking
It's
ahead.
good to know that you
Thing
know,
when we all switch characters to
it's good to know that you can commit to a project.
Just covering my bases in case I, roll 3 1s on a death save.
You only need 2
According
because
to most of ours.
a 1 on a death save is an automatic 2
Right.
failures. So you would only need 2 1s, not 3.
Have any of you guys ever heard of the game Paranoia?
No.
It's a role-playing game where you play a quote-unquote troubleshooter in some kind of like underground dystopian nightmare world where the computer controls everything, and your character is a clone. He has like 7 clones, and so if your character dies, your clone gets activated and immediately pops in, and just takes over exactly where you are.
Oh.
So there's actually like a very high turnover rate.
Gee.
It's a comedic. It's actually a comedic. It's not like serious. It's a total like party game in the sense of like, oh, you're a traitor and you shoot somebody and they die, and then a clone comes up and gets activated. And,
How many clones are you allowed?
Says, you killed me.
Yeah, I think it was like 7 or 8 clones. I forgot.
They remember everything you remember?
Yeah, something like that. It was in the 90s, early 90s.
Oh, it's okay. It sounded like familiar, the name, but there could have been so many things.
There's
Oh, I
actually been a
coulda
few
used that.
additions.
Could have used that
Right.
when the whole Bums of Greenness murdered me.
Was the music
Needed
coming
to be
from
murdered.
Oh, good.
Roll20 or Discord?
Technically,
Sorry,
this
but
one,
you needed to be murdered. We saved you.
technically Rachel kind of murdered you.
Oh,
Has to be
throw the
done.
blame.
Has
Throwing the
to be
blame
I
around.
always murder you.
The only one unconscious.
done.
Unconscious.
Murder.
Only
If it's just
unconscious.
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 Knock you unconscious.
So
It's
close
gonna knock you
to death.
unconscious.
Unconscious.
Hey, anyone else? Is the music really loud compared to everyone's
Oh,
talking?
you have to right click it and then lower
That's
the
your-
volume.
Yeah, right click
For
it.
the longest time, that was me saying.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's
really
a
loud.
boomer moment.
The
Yeah, you
music
can-
loud for anybody else.
You can change everyone's volume in your ear by right clicking their name in the live chat in the channel and then just dropping the volume. I set the volume at 25%, so
But where's the volume in the live chat? As
no,
far
no,
as for the
not
music?
in the live chat, in the channel. That way.
Live sessions. There's a
Yeah,
thing
like
called
in the-
rhythm.
Yeah.
Ew.
Might be
That
that
way.
way. It could be that way. I don't know which way I'm facing on your screen.
Might be this way.
There. It's like right here.
Oh, no.
Over there. This way.
And that way.
Working on it.
You really look like Abaddon. Hood on.
I'm gonna dye my hair red.
There you go.
You should really wear some horns when we play. I feel like I'm gonna buy
Rachel
some.
just go
I
ew.
No, I said I dare you.
Where's Sam?
Do it.
Funny.
It's quarantine here. You
Yeah,
can get
go
away
walk.
with anything.
I sent Pat a few
Alright, so
messages.
who are we waiting for?
Zan.
For Zan.
But
All right.
usually he's on time, so
Yeah.
hopefully everything's okay.
Because
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Do you want me to give him? I can hang up and give him a call real quick if you want, or we can just wait a little bit longer.
That's
I sent him a
Totally up to you.
message. You know, I know lately he didn't say anything about not playing or anything like that
Yeah.
tonight, but I know he's been having some issues, like the clutch in his car just blew.
mm,
You know what I mean? The other day and that shit. So he might be.
He's driving
like,
D&D. He's playing D&D.
Well, yeah, but he's also has his mother. Way to be fucking empathetic, you dick.
Should be here.
No, I think he said he's got his mom's Jeep or something, so maybe he's bringing it back. I don't know you know what I mean? I have no
Yeah.
idea. I'm just things
Okay.
aren't like it's not like he's just sleeping on the couch.
right. No, that's fine.
No,
Even if he wanted to
certainly
sleep
not.
on the couch, that would be totally fine.
Yeah, I know, right?
Continue.
I'll send him another message.
All right. We can. Ooh, Jesus. All right. So I think. So my only thing is I really wanted to set up the cams so that you could see. Okay.
What?
So right now I have it set up so everyone can see our faces, but not my screen, which is fine. We can definitely do this without that. But I wanted I had everybody, I wanted to format my my beautiful beautiful scenes I made.
she's talking about beauty. Crew of adventurers.
So we'll wait.
All
Wasn't
things you can hear.
Wasn't even me this time.
We'll wait another minute and then I'll just read the recap, which I think everybody got to see anyway.
I just sent him another message just to let him know that we very well might start, you know, without him if you choose to, and that he can just jump in whenever. Sure, it won't be a
All right.
problem.
I'm just gonna mute myself for a second so I can test to make sure that the channel is actually picking up all of the sound it's supposed to, because that's what my biggest challenge has been with this whole thing, has been the sound, which is kind of the most important part. So, 1 second.
And she's muted, and everybody go crazy. It's the Muppet Show, yay!
The bums agree us, yeah!
There it is. There's the bum.
There's the bums.
One bomb.
She's back. Be cool.
Jesus, it's a nips. It's cool. It's cool.
Everybody behave. It's time to play the music.
The teacher.
It's time
teacher's
to light
back.
the lights. It's time to mute the bums of greenest. Gets the bums of greenest tonight.
Alright.
It feels like next time we play, I might do like a French accent.
Oh. Sweet.
You.
I'm going to change it up and speak Francais.
I'm
It's
supposed
not
to be
like
disguised. Supposed to be
Like
disguised.
next time we play, I might do like some type of French. Like I like the way that they talk.
Okay.
I don't know you anymore.
Alright, I think I'm good. I'm just double checking that you can hear my voice.
You can hear your what?
Yes, ma'am.
I can hear your voice.
It means on Twitch.
I can't hear you. Sorry, what? Sorry, who? Where am I? Who are you people?
We don't know where you are. We left you in a different city.
Where's
Yeah.
Where'd you
where are my
come from?
keys? Where are my keys? I don't know.
I don't know if I trust this guy anymore.
You shouldn't.
He keeps showing up.
Oh, if you turn French,
Weird.
I'm
I'm
suspicious.
not talking to you anymore.
Of course, being
Oh, it's
suspicious
bad.
is the exact opposite of being a spy. So you know I'm not a spy. Because if I was a spy, I was really bad at it.
Logic.
Maybe I'm
You could be a really
bad
bad
spy.
spy.
I could be. Maybe that's my dump stat.
Spying.
Spying.
-3.
-3 spying. Yeah.
I feel like those goggles though would be.
Hey, this costs money.
It's cold.
I think you stole those from Eric.
Why is it doing that? Hold on.
My owl goggles.
Oh, yeah,
Goggles.
yeah,
Oh.
What happened?
Broken.
No, nothing.
Goggins.
You can't
They're
see in the
still
dark
good.
anymore.
They're still good. Alright.
All I can think of is avenge me. No, witness me.
Yeah, I'm ready.
From fucking Mad Max.
Oh my god.
I'm thinking of Dr.
Fury.
Horrible.
That too, yeah.
Alright.
Awesome.
Harry
Hello.
Potter. I'm from Harry Potter.
Alright,
It's a little
so
bit punkish.
With the Quidditch goggles.
Potter.
we'll
Proper PPE, just so you guys know, this is proper PPE when you go out shopping.
So nobody sneezes in your eyes.
Yeah.
Like,
You can
I like
see
it.
the virus with those goggles.
well, I think it's funny
need
that
to
If you
like
look if you
your
look really
mouth-
closely,
your mouth
if you
and
look
nose
really
are not
closely, you can
covered.
see all of your reflections in my eyes. Right.
Everybody got close.
You look ridiculous.
Oh, I heard
Thank
somebody
you.
has on.
Thank you.
I love
Uh-uh.
every single second of it.
Pat just sent me a message. She said, "I'm coming. Cat emergency."
Oh,
Just those
okay.
four
Oh,
fuckers.
jeez.
Wow, that's a weird thing you'd never hear normally.
Oh.
I'm
Yeah.
coming, cat emergency.
Well,
That's actually
his-
not something you want to have in a text.
But So
know.
cute.
No.
Sounds
Got
cute.
the most beautiful voice.
His cat is about 1,000,000 years old.
I'm pretty sure the
and
cat puked on his carpet. That's the cat made mistake.
Hey, that can be
Ah,
a mistake.
They just got the
boy,
cat.
right?
They just got the cat back from the vet. They just spent a ton of
shit.
money on it.
Oh dear.
I
What's
I
wrong?
hold no real attachment to cats. I've had too many of them. Diane, my mother, when I was a kid, and I shit you not, she had 15 cats in one house. She was that
Living the
crazy.
dream.
She was that
You had a lot of
neighborhood.
cats when I first met you.
Oh yeah, and like it was horrendous. It's
Yeah.
not.
Then they're just
It's
gross.
not as fun.
Many.
Yeah,
Then they're just nasty.
yeah. You can't
There's
put
always
too
like
many
a
of them
couple
in
of
one
cats on the
space.
roof too. It was weird.
Yeah.
Like there'd be cats all over the place, but I always
Roof.
remember there'd be like 2 cats just sitting on the roof.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's not good. It's not hygienic, and that's how I grew up.
Yeah.
So
There's a certain
have
point
one,
where
like-
it's just
yeah,
gross.
like so now I have like I love dogs, but when I like cats when I sit down and somebody's like, if I go to your house and your cat rubs up, all right, cool. But like I don't
Okay,
hold
speaking
that
of the
kind
dog, did we let her back in,
emotional-
Liz?
Hey, Pat's ya.
Hey.
Hey,
Just
sorry
double
about that.
No,
Cat emergency.
no need to be sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, no
Just a
problem.
game.
We're all
Just
friends
a
here.
game.
You're only holding up everyone else.
The whole damn story.
It's only a matter
All-
of time before
all
my kids
of-
wake up.
All of our
Like,
listeners
I
and
need to
fans.
flash or kill something in the
Yes.
next 15
Yeah.
minutes.
Was
Yeah,
everything
that'd be
all right with the
awesome.
cat? Was everything all right, Pat?
Yeah, it's
Zen.
Okay.
all set now.
Oh, good.
All good.
Sweet. Good stuff.
Oh, Annie's gone.
That's okay.
I need her
She's still
fried.
there. She's just.
Invisible.
You can hear
Taking
us.
her fresh friends.
She used rope trick.
Just picture
That's
like a
real trick,
mime, like
by the way.
Did you bring enough to share with the class?
French
The
fries.
food is right here, so all for me.
Alright, I'm putting that in the food and drinks.
Oh yeah.
Hot tots.
I think we did tots.
Oh my God, loaded tots. Now that's all I can think about.
Yeah, we were talking about.
All right. So. All right. Let's do our recap here.
Uncle Larry looks so creepy. just so slack with it, and the goggles look like they were looking in 2 different directions.
Awesome.
Oh, that hurts. All right, don't do that. All right.
All right. So, recap. Here we go. All right. Everybody's cool. Everybody's ready.
Yeah,
Ready.
reasonably.
Okay.
Goddamn music is still too goddamn loud. But anyway,
You can mute it if it's, or you can
I'm
turn it.
working on it.
It'll be quieter if you put your goggles on. Goggles will
Yeah,
not
much better. Thank you.
like how they're gonna protect you from. Do everything.
All right. Okay. So, recap. Here we go. All right, when we last left our adventurers, now introducing yourselves as the Bums of Greenest, you had just returned to Baldur's Gate, where your journey began after a little over a month of traveling together. You've been tasked with following the Cult of the Dragon as they make their way north in the direction of Waterdeep. You got to the gate with plenty of time to spare, according to Leosin and Onthar's intelligence. So it's been just a waiting game for many, many days at this point. During that time, you explored the city, learned more about each other to some extent, trained up, and prepped for the long trek. Akin Celeban has been an invaluable contact to have, as he's explained how the caravans work, provided you with your goods at a discounted price, and kept you informed of any unusual faces that he's seen, which nothing has panned out. So, All the while, he has stressed to you how important it will be to keep your story straight and remain in character if you want to succeed with this. He, Akin, has stressed this to you. And so you've waited and waited. And then, on the morning of Leaf Fall 14, as you're hanging out in one of the Blackgate tent taverns, getting an early start with some day drinking, because that's been the thing over the past couple of days as you've waited, you're all currently, except for Uncle Ari, under an open-air tent in the bustling Blackgate area. Today's much like many of the other days that you have been in Baldur's Gate. This past 10 day, when it comes to weather, it's cool, it's kind of damp. Every morning there seems to be a fog that rolls in and then burns off by about midday. So it's starting to get closer to noon, so the mist is starting to dissipate a little bit. There's smells of ale and cooking meats and stock animals in this area, where it's just
Stock animals.
Yep, lovely smell of stock animals. It's busy as always in this Blackgate area. There's people loading and unloading carts and trading in goods before it has to go into the city, or trying to unload and sell their goods right here so that they don't have to trek into the city, since Baldur's Gate does not allow anything larger than a cat inside when it comes to animals. So several things happen simultaneously. I'm just going to describe them all and then let you loose. But Uncle Ari, you finally have made your way to Blackgate. First you had to go through, you came by the road, so you came through the east side of Baldur's Gate, kind of trekked through. You arrived in Baldur's Gate this morning, went through some of the outer city on the east side of the city, and then went into the enclosed fortress area, walked through the lower city, the upper city, through Baldur's Gate, the actual Baldur's Gate, where all the trade is, and then through the Black Dragon Gate, which led you to Blackgate, which is the outer city part. And as you do that, so you see a lot of traders coming through, and so Baldur's Gate does not allow any kind of animals inside.
So I'm leading. Well, I'm okay. Oh, so
yeah, you wouldn't
I
be
know
able
this
to
ahead of
bring.
time?
You would be
Any
stopped.
animals? Wait. What kind of animals can I bring inside?
You can bring anything smaller than a cat, like a cat and smaller.
Okay, so a crow? An
Yeah,
owl?
that's fine. Just not.
Okay, so Aristophanes is an owl, and then I'm just like carrying shit
Yeah.
on my back.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, I'm a gnome. And
Right.
I can carry shit. Yeah.
Yeah, so they just don't allow. It's too
There we
packed of a place, and the roads are too slippery, so you can't
Yep.
bring
No, so I've got this.
horses or whatever.
I've got this owl on my side, and I'm just got a giant pack, like I'm,
A traveler.
a traveler in a third world country, which is everywhere on this planet. So
Yep.
yeah.
So what you would have noticed is that when people are trying to sell their wares and stuff, it's very packed. There's a lot of people in Baldur's Gate, so instead of having their animals come through, there are hired hands who will actually have these like weird contraptions that are almost like, it's like a belt with like a long pole that sticks like straight up with a platform on the top that carries the crates, and then they walk through the streets that way, because you can't walk through the streets with your arms out like this. So very weird, but that's Baldur's Gate. I didn't make it up. That's canon.
Cool.
Okay.
So-
Alright, or not, get up on there.
Lift them
So,
up.
as you come through Blackgate, you again, very, very packed and busy area, as this is where everyone has to stop before they go into the city to unload their stuff and sell stuff. So you swear you see familiar long purple hair of Vidania, who was the high elf that was part of the
Hey,
group.
Vidania!
So you yell
Overhead
Vidania,
or something.
and you kind of like rush up to this tall, purple-haired elf, and when she turns
It's not
around,
another
though,
tall paper house. Oh, it's just another elf with purple hair.
yeah. Well, so
Oh
when
my god.
when
How
she
common is that?
when she turns around to look at you, it looks just like Vidania, but not.
I have
She
I have
looks-
trouble actually finding. I have trouble telling elves apart. So it's
Well, it looks uncannily like Vidania, except
okay.
a little bit
So I yell,
more,
Vidania!
a little bit more tired. And when
No.
she turns to look at you, she
Shrinks away.
she
Worried.
doesn't. No. She gives you this like really like pissed off look. Like she actually turns her head when you yell the name, but when you get up there to to talk to her, she just stares daggers at you and she gives you this really dirty look. And it's at that point you notice like it's
You're
not
not Vidania.
it's not Vidania. She looks like she looks a little bit more tired, a little bit like there's like darker creases up here. Her hair is not in the same style that Vidania was wearing her. And when you look at her clothing,
well, I'm gonna make a mental note that I saw someone that was more weary looking than Vidania, and like she just was like looked more haggard and terrible and whatever, and I'll just remember that so that when I do see Vidania, I'll say, "Hey, I saw someone that looked like you,
That's all.
except a
Just
lot
tired from
worse.
having kids.
Like actually, just awful." Anyway, I say,
Look a
"Oh,
lot
sorry,"
better
and
than
I
I
walk
remember.
away.
okay. All right. So at the same time that happens,
And I start calling out, "Vidania!" No, I don't. I don't actually do that.
well,
I
so
start
Yells
walking
out at the
through.
fishmonger.
Yeah.
So Vidania, you actually at that moment hear your name being called, and you turn to look, and you don't see Uncle Ari because he is a very small man who is currently
I don't
being
stand
blocked
out
by
in the crowd.
several people.
I'm like 4 feet tall.
But you do see a familiar face, an elf with purple hair, standing far off. Like you can see her, but it would take you, probably a good 2 minutes of trying to push through the crowd to get to her. But you do see her, and actually Zan, with your passive perception, you also would see Vidania, except not because Vidania is sitting next to you guys, and she no longer has her purple hair. And you watch Vidania, the other elf kind of look down and give like this dirty look, and you can see that she is standing next to one of those palanquins with several other people who are all holding it. She's not holding the palanquin, but the others that are like next to her are holding it. And it's a very busy day, and what do you do?
She holding.
None of the rest of you see this except for Zan and Vidania.
We don't see the other elf and the very
No,
shouty
you're not.
gnome.
You're not paying attention to it, but she sees it.
In the same place at the same time right now in the Black Gate area.
Yeah, you guys are all just kind of. It's been like 10 days now. You've been waiting to see if you recognize any cult members, and you haven't. And so you're just kind of in this, like, just like a festival tent, except not obviously, but like just a white tent, open, no walls on the outsides, and on the inside is a tavern. It's like just a makeshift tavern for people who are traveling.
When I see the other elf, I'm going to use my quiver to send a message to Vidania, ask her, "Do you have a sister?"
What?
What time? What type of
And
time
an
of day is
an
this,
older
by the
sister,
way?
an older sister, older
Maybe-
sister.
It's like
With a few
about
kids.
10:30 a.m. 10 o'clock, 10:30.
All right, so my bar's not open yet. We
So-
open at noon.
Yeah. So Vidania, what are you up to?
I'll turn to Zane.
I lost her.
Oh, we didn't hear
can't
you.
hear.
Say
She's
that again,
breaking up.
Vidania.
Blurry. Can you hear me?
Sorta.
No, I'm blurry either.
Oh, we can, I think.
Hear me now?
Yes.
Sort of.
Yes,
But
Zane.
you still look like we've been drinking.
So, in other words, you look awesome.
um,
I'll return. What you saying? Could that be her? And I'll look towards the other purple-haired high elf.
And you can see that the other purple-haired elf has gone back to, like, turned back to the palanquin, is talking to people that are in her group.
So, Liz, I have a question about purple-haired elves.
Yes.
Are they like purple-haired Japanese people, where they just dye their hair purple, or they actually have purple hair because they're an elf and they're magical and all that?
They actually have purple hair. We'll
Oh,
say.
okay, all right, just checking. All right.
It's not super uncommon, but it's not like if you're
Alright.
if you're with a bunch of like high elves, it's not necessarily an uncommon color, but this is an area with mostly humans,
High elves.
half elves.
Yeah. All right.
can I?
I'm sure high elves see purple hair all the time.
Yes.
I look to see if I recognize anybody else over there.
No
Or can I
puns.
see-
No puns allowed.
No, sorry, I'm the old dude here. I am the one that's allowed to make
There's no
puns
dad jokes.
and dad jokes.
The one that puns.
Dad jokes. You're probably full of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Sorry,
Your dad-
Vidania, what was that? You asked
That's-
me something.
Can I
So you're not a reporter.
if I recognize anybody else that she's
Um, from the distance that you're at, so like she's.
Well, you heard my voice, right?
Yeah, so Vidania, you heard her voice, but you can't see. You heard his voice, but you can't see. You can't see him. It's like so busy that he's like very small and lost in the crowd.
If you wear the goggles, she'll see you.
But you did hear
Oh,
your
like Barbara
name very clearly
Flair.
being called, and it was, there aren't too many people that know you around here. So
can I start to walk in that direction?
Sure.
And stealthily?
stealthily,
Yes.
sure. Roll a stealth check. I gotta get into my roll 20 here. So you try, but it's you're not sure how well you've done, but it's a busy market. You're trying to kind of push your way through the crowd, and inevitably you're gonna bump into people, and you don't know if people are paying attention per se, but
I just
Oh.
try to keep my distance and just try to watch where they're going.
Okay.
Since I know I can't like reach up to them without their way.
So, at the moment, this group is, there are about like 7 people outside, including the other purple-haired elf. Outside of this palanquin, there are 4 that are kind of stationed at each of the poles that you hold on your shoulder to hold up the box. And then there's 3 others, and the purple-haired elf is talking to a couple of them, and then you see her head off. She like talks to,
Ooh,
says something.
That's unpleasant.
Huh?
Her head came off.
No, she was gonna head off in a direction. Then you
Oh,
see her head came off.
Through legs.
Oh
like
my
anything.
God.
So she she says something to someone that you can't quite hear, and then she kind of nods, and then she starts to head on her own off in another direction away from the group.
Can I continue to follow her?
Sure. So make another stealth check. All right. So you're still kind of pushing through the people in the crowd, and you follow her for just another like a minute or two through this crowd, and she's just walking seemingly with purpose, and then she kind of like ducks into a side alleyway. It's not, this is more of a like dirt road type of area, but she ducks in between two buildings.
Seeing as Zan's the only other one that saw the two purple-haired elves leave, could he just stealthily keep a distance just to keep an eye to see what's going on?
Sure, you can roll a stealth check as well. Alright, so as far as Vidania is aware, she is following her prey here by herself. Alright, so Vidania, what are you doing?
Catch up to her now.
I'm sorry?
I catch up, like go down the alley.
Sure. So you turn to go down the alley and you see the elf is standing there just waiting for you. And so you turn the alley and your sister is staring back at you.
Drama.
And
Nothing worse than family drama.
right, she says, she looks at you and you can see she looks different than the last time you saw her. She used to be like just really smiley and happy-go-lucky, and now you can see she looks angry, like not angry at you, but just like this overall, just her face is no longer the same, and she looks a little tired. Her hair is pulled back like very tightly in like a ponytail that's tied in a really tight braid, and she does not look happy to see you, and she says, I told you to go away. Why didn't you listen?
Couldn't leave you.
You could leave me, and you should have. And she like sighs and shakes her
That's
head.
the definition of a codependent relationship.
I'd like to help you and get you out of here.
She says, I don't need your help. I don't need your help. And if you continue to follow me, I cannot protect you from what will happen. You don't know what you've gotten yourself into. But you can still turn around and you can go.
I'm going to follow you. I want you to come home.
You know that nobody wants me there. I've never belonged there. And I finally found a place where I can feel at home.
This is not your home.
This is my home.
What's your boonies?
She like yells it. She says, "This is my home. I've never had the same amount of love from our parents as you did. Never. And you know
my
this."
Love.
Wah.
Not me.
Wah.
She says,
Oh, my parents didn't love me.
These stories my stories are getting good.
I'm starting to cry.
Let me see what happens next week.
Oh,
You're
you and
second to
90% of
Lauren.
everyone else on the planet. Your parents didn't love you enough. Oh gosh. Oh my god. You're special. Isn't that terrible? Oh, jeez. It's like a whole freaking generation wasn't defined by that.
It's weird because I keep looking at Lauren when I'm saying this, so it's like, it's
No.
my sister.
I'm gonna get emotional.
Come home.
I know. I'm very affected by this story.
Oh.
Sitting
Sorry.
here thinking of Batman. My parents are dead.
Your mom's name is Martha too? What are the chances?
So
Yeah.
Who names their mom Martha?
so she says, one day you'll leave too. You cannot have a sister that just hangs on your side. You have to live your life, and I'm going to live mine, and I have found a family, one who accepts me, and one where I'm excelling, and one that's proud of me. And you need to leave, or else you will end up dead.
Oh shit.
That's a very- Oh my.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Well, that's a red feeling.
Get up there.
Is there anything I can do to convince you to just leave me be? You see
Where are you
her,
going?
she like looks down and then she does like a little pace back and forth in the like alleyway and is looking down at her feet and looks back up at you and she says, "Do you think they'd even take me back at home after all of this?"
All we can do.
I couldn't hear what she said.
All we can do is try.
Make a persuasion roll.
Yeah, not awesome.
It is not your night.
She
Not
looks
my night.
He's better at killing things.
she looks at you and
No, don't feel bad. Wait till I start rolling dice, and then you'll totally feel better.
she looks at you and she looks like very, very sad. And she says, I fear that I've gone too far to turn back. And I don't know if they'll let me back home.
She would help you. Where are you going? What are you doing?
Unfortunately, I cannot tell you. As much as I would love to, I just can't. I feel like even if I went with you, if you knew, it could result in your death. So, how about this? Why don't you meet me tomorrow night in the Wide, which you would know after all this time is the big it's like a big open market area in the upper city. And she says, meet me at the Wide. There's a vendor there that sells carved black onyx bear figurines. Reminds me of home. I'll meet you there tomorrow night and we can talk. But just you. No one else. And maybe I'll go home with you.
Okay.
And she smiles at you. And like for a second, she looks like her old self. But then she walks towards you, and you're not sure if like maybe like she's gonna give you a hug but she doesn't. She just walks right by and doesn't look at you as she walks past, and pushes her way back through the crowd. Zan, you give me a perception check.
Looks like you're
Your what?
Lauren. It looks like she's trying to tickle us.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Like,
I'm on my phone now. I had to switch it because I couldn't hear a fucking thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm still having a super hard time hearing both Annie and Makai and Vidania for a reason. Did they keep on cutting out for you guys too?
Yeah, I couldn't
The
hear
entire.
Yeah.
I think it's just
now,
Discord
so
right
the-
now.
I was gonna say because I hear everybody else. I hear Pat. Jesus, Zan, Ergnot, DM,
you
and
can hear
Uncle
Jesus?
Ari. I can.
Got a really good
Tonight.
connection.
Got a very good connection tonight.
Abaddon's camera is better now, though. More color.
yeah.
It's on her phone.
Yeah.
Blessed
Yeah,
be.
the
Yeah,
exactly.
it's my phone. I'm learning.
So, Zan, you lost them in the crowd as
I'm
you
sorry,
were.
Liv. So do I just like kind of after I ran away from this person that I thought was the purple-haired elf that I knew, and I screamed out her name? I just ran away, right? I just like I'm gone.
Well, you're still. I would
like
assume.
in the, like the
I would
sausage market. I'm like over, doing other stuff.
Yeah, I
right
would
now.
assume that you're probably still looking for the group. It's like super
Just
crowded.
wandering around.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm just making sure because
Yeah.
I don't want to cause a scene.
So Zan, you lost them in the crowd as you were pushing through, and you kind of, it takes you like a minute and a half, and then you see the purple-haired high elf walk out from between two buildings. She looks just as stern as the face that you saw, like, from a distance, and she doesn't make eye contact with you. She just walks right past you, doesn't even pay you any attention. But you did not hear anything that was discussed in the alley. You lost track of them. So, Vidania, what are you doing?
I'll walk back out. I'm slightly defeated. And towards where is everybody?
Well, so you would see Zan now, like right at the
Okay.
edge of that alley there. He's like walking up to the area. But it doesn't look like from what you can tell, he's like approaching. So you feel pretty confident that he didn't hear anything that happened just now.
As I walk up, I'll ask, did you know that woman?
Yeah. That is my sister.
Wow.
So what do you say to that? Do you know that random stranger that has purple hair just like you?
That would be my sister. We're twins.
It was
Except
sounded like that.
she didn't age as well.
Yeah, and Zan, you
That
would
was
have noticed it too, that while this elf looked like much more stern and like, again, tired is just a word that keeps coming up in my brain. She looked just like Vidania when Vidania has purple hair, which right now, for Uncle Ari's benefit, Vidania has has black hair now that's shaved right into like a mohawk, or shaved on one
Oh.
side.
Okay, but I won't recognize her now.
No, Erdnot looks
Because
the
she's-
same, right?
Well, that's good.
And I think
But I can't
Lakaya?
see anybody. I can't see anybody right
Is-
now, so I'm just
Yeah,
wandering around
Zan.
with a freaking owl on my shoulder, and
Yelling,
Zan,
"But
Hoot
I'm-"
hoot, that's cute.
Staring at
Zan
people
also
cautious
died.
because I'm like 4 feet tall.
Zan also dyed his hair, shaved his beard, trying
Yep.
to change his appearance.
and
Try
Ecker
to-
as
So
well.
Try to humor all of you when I just see you. Like, I don't recognize you. I'll just try to like say that, so you feel better about yourselves.
What a wonderful job you've all done.
Oh my god, I never would have recognized you, Vidania. With your shaved head, black hair. You're just like the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Uh-oh. Was that... that's funny.
Yep,
So,
that is funny.
it's very funny.
So as we're walking back, I'll ask Vidania. I hope it was a happy reunion.
Okay.
Man, that's all right.
I'm feeling hopeful that it will get better. It's kind of a rocky thing going on.
Fair enough. Families are complicated.
For sure.
Nah, they just suck.
So, how about...
Oh, sorry. Sorry, that was my outside voice.
Say, Uncle Ari, who hurt you?
You don't want to know.
Don't ask. Don't ask.
Okay, all right, never mind.
DM, is
Yeah.
are we, I missed a little bit, I couldn't hear some of that, but are we all together when Zan is asking this? Or
No,
did he approach
Zan-
Vidania first?
Yeah, no, Zan and Vidania are off on their own at the moment, but approaching. Ari, how about you give me an investigation check? Just to see how long it takes you to find everybody.
Those goggles on?
Staring at a lot of kneecaps.
Yeah. Alright, so what am I rolling? Sorry.
Investigation.
Investigation.
I'm just interested in seeing.
Oh my god.
You can hear those burps perfectly.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great if I
It's-
actually opened
Yes,
my
we can hear you.
Bye.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Squeeze me.
You're excused.
So we're all still just hanging out at the Black Gate, like
Aw.
at tavern, outside tavern.
At the
is that
tent
right?
tavern, yeah.
That's not very good.
All right.
No, well, with a 12, though, a 12 is a pretty standard, like, you...
That's not,
It only
yeah,
takes
it's not
you, like...
terrible.
It only takes you, like, another 5 minutes, and you... then you see Erdnot, more specifically, and Micaiah, I don't think you did anything crazy, right?
I thought she shaved her head.
Did you shave
Yes,
your
I
head?
had-
You're drunk. You don't
I
remember.
took my whole hair off, all of it. Pulled a Britney Spears.
Oh, okay. So you,
Do we match? Do me and Micaiah match with our shaved heads?
Yes, we do, darling. You cute.
Yes.
Okay, so I see or not.
You see Erdnot, essentially, yeah. You
I
see
yell, not.
Erdnot. And you hear it. Erdnot.
Do I see him?
Yeah, at this
Can I do
point, if
this?
he can see, yeah, if he can see you, you can see him.
Or not half chokes on his A beer and goes, "By the All Father, this gnome haunts us."
And Uncle Ari, you can see that Erdnot is with like a different group of people, but as you get closer, it's just everybody in disguise except for Erdnot.
Oh wow. Wow, these are guises. I say. I wouldn't have recognized any of you, except I could have sworn I saw Vidania just not that long ago. But Vidania, you don't look anything like yourself.
And then at that point, Vidania and Zan, you rejoin your group, so now everybody's together, and you can see Uncle Ari's there. So your
Ari.
turn.
Gnome.
I'm glad I caught you guys. I asked, after you when you kind of took off, and I've been tracking you ever since. And no, I'm not a spy. I'm not like there's no ulterior motives or anything. I'm just really like you guys.
That's not suspicious.
I just really like you guys.
Did you get another one of your hints or missions or whatever it was that you were looking
Oh
for?
no! Actually, so blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. I'm trying to look up what Liz just told me like 5-10 minutes.
You just
before.
kind of Uncle Ari just kind of got lost from the group. There was one day where you guys you went off and did things, and then after that day, it was almost like you just couldn't meet up at the same time. El Terrell's a pretty big place,
And then I got distracted by something shiny, and I went off somewhere else, and then I lost track of you, and then I was like looking for you guys, and then.
Oh, we didn't give a crap about you, man.
That's fine. I'm used to that. That's my story of my life.
Whoa, we're like floating.
We're just like, oh,
Yeah.
Uncle Ari's missing.
Yeah, I'm like,
You
oh,
slept
gosh,
in that night.
You know. I'm kind of special in that way. I just focus on certain things, and I go look at them, and then the people that I actually like disappear, and then I go try to find them again. Yeah.
Well, this
I
being
found
Zan's, being Zan's first time seeing Ari since before the Harvest Festival, he reaches into his bag and presents the carved wooden owl figure that he got, and presents it to him, saying, Ari, this was a custom in my village that everyone were to give gifts to friends and family of something of the earth, whether it be wood or grain. So here's the owl for its intelligence and wisdom. This is my gift to you.
That's handy. Since I have an owl on my shoulder.
No, that's hysterical.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's great. Thank you. I wish I had something to give you in return. I could give you the sling pellet, but it doesn't really do much without a sling.
That's all right. It's my village's custom. I don't expect anything in return.
Oh, that's good. Okay. No. Well, good. Well, hopefully someday I'll save your life. We'll see.
Seems a fair trade to me.
Yeah. I'll try. I'll do my best. Like, if you're gonna die and I'm there, I'll try to save you.
I shall do the same.
I promise that. I can't promise any results. I can just promise I'll try.
All right, guys.
So nice to meet you.
Avalon's having a heck of a time today.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's okay.
Discord.
Yeah, I think it's Discord. All right, so
Yo.
First we're like floating overhead, now like at eye level.
I hear you. I can hear you.
I know you can hear
I
me.
can't see you all, you fucking
That was
jerks.
hysterical. Open it up.
so as you guys are in the tent, you do also looking over in that direction, you do also start to see some faces from the camp that you begin to recognize. Nobody in particular. Like, you don't see what was his name? Hassan.
Seko.
My buddy.
Hamid.
Oh.
You don't see like
Oh, Vidania's boyfriend?
yeah.
Spend more time with him.
Oh, Hasid, sorry. You don't see Hasid. You don't see any of the Red Sun mercenaries, but you do see like faces that look familiar, and they're standing around that palanquin that is currently resting on the ground with a few different people all around it, where the purple-haired elf has come back there and is now talking to those people again. And then, like, just kind of dispersed throughout the crowd, you start to see just faces that you're like, I remember that face from the camp. And you're all kind of looking at each other and then, you know, pointing out very discreetly, like, just people, and you're like, wasn't that one at the camp that night? Uncle Ari, obviously you're not aware. This is the camp that you met them at, but you didn't see anybody because by the time you got there, everyone was gone. But
Right. Okay.
yeah, but you guys all start to be like, okay, there's
I'm
one.
just happy because I found all these people that I know.
Yeah, he's drinking.
Yeah.
Happily with his little
Yeah.
owl.
Does her not recognize or see any of the symbols of the Kathja shadow mercenaries?
Make a perception check for me. Yeah, let me move you guys to the.
That's pretty bad.
Why is it rolled 2 times? I only hit it once.
I don't know. None of them are
Well,
good though.
those
so-
suck anyways.
Well, they both suck.
They all fucking suck.
Yeah, they all sucked.
Yeah, so at the moment you can't see. It's really busy here, so I moved you guys all to the Baldur's Gate map, and I'm just clicking where you guys currently are. You're up here. So you can't see anybody wearing that particular. Like right now, all you kind of see are just like merchant-looking clothing and some regular like leathers and studded leather wearing people like with swords on their backs. The ones who are at one point you see
No, I
them.
never actually did.
You see them. Those 4 people lift up the palanquin, and it looks like there's like some merchant chatter going on between one of the guys who's dressed as a merchant with that group there, not the other high elf. And then the palanquin passes you, so those 4 people kind of walk by, and for just a split second the flap like opens, and I'll just have everybody can make me a perception check.
Alright.
Goddamn. Apparently, I was looking at butterflies in the field.
Same Z's.
You and me were playing. I'm not touching you. Is what we were doing.
All right,
What's up,
so
you
we've got.
guys?
I see everything.
Jesus.
I see all.
All right, so
Jealous.
we've got
From 4 feet off the ground, I see everything.
let's see.
We have
As
amazing
much as I
goggles.
could see from
Oh.
4 feet off the ground.
Is that everybody? Or not? Did you roll?
No. I've been trying to. It's not. There
There
we
you
go.
go.
Okay.
There
Okay.
you go.
Like I clicked it like 8 times.
So
Wait,
great.
did Zan roll?
Did Zan roll? Yeah. No, Zan didn't roll.
Yeah,
Did he roll a
Got
12? He rolled a 12.
Yeah, I rolled a 12. I was trying to scroll up to see what I rolled.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So.
Oh, I see.
All right, so Vidania, Ari, and Erdnot, as this palanquin passes in front of you, and you can see that the merchant that was with them is still haggling over with a different wagon equipage seller, a different wagon seller, not Akin, who you have been dealing with. The flap kind of opens just slightly, and for a split second, you
I
can
hate when that happens.
you can see.
We all have had that problem.
At the worst possible time. Good job interview.
You can see an outline of what appears to be a very dark dragonborn on the inside of the palanquin, and they continue walking by you,
Okay.
and kind of push through the crowd with a couple of guards behind, and that purple-haired high elf following as well, and kind of looking around on high alert. It appears anyway, and they just kind of.
Purple dragon?
No, not a purple dragon. Like you
Oh.
can't see very well inside. You see like a dark outline of a dragonborn. Dragonborn inside.
So can I send a message with a cantrip?
Sure.
Message cantrip. I guess. Oh gosh, who should I send it to? Well, since I thought I saw her before, I'll just send it to Vidania. And I'll basically say, I'll expend this cantrip and I'll say, in the palisade is a dragonborn.
Didn't I see it?
Yeah, you saw it.
I mean, I'm aware of the whole cult situation and stuff like that, so I know the the point of all this, right? So
Yeah,
I
Anthar
know
filled
that
you
that's
in
good. Yeah.
when you met up with him. So
okay,
Vidania, you feel almost like a slight buzz in your ear for like a split second before you hear Uncle Ari's voice in your ear brain telling you that there's a dragonborn.
Your brain.
And the palanquin continues on with the high elf never looking at your group, just kind of looking all around and following up on the rear with 2 guards in between. So there's just like the main group, 2 guards, and then the high elf, and they all kind of pass along. And
did Vidania 2 just not notice the group, or does she purposely avoid eye contact?
You don't know. She just walked by.
Vidania 2, is that what we're calling her?
DM,
Can I
might
roll
have
to
missed it.
take guess?
I recommend that you all attack in a complete kamikaze charge and you just destroy it.
Right now.
I'll provide support from the back.
Listen, the last time we fought a dragonborn, we all died.
DM, how many people? I might have missed it earlier. Sorry if I did, but how many people are in this group with this palanquin?
So in this particular group at this moment, you can see 7. The 4 that are holding the palanquin, and then the 2 guards, and then the high elf. But what you're noticing is that as you guys are watching, there are many faces that are seeming familiar to you, people who you didn't necessarily interact with, but as you walked through the cult, the raiders camp, that they were there. So while this particular, and so Erdnot, what you would know is that there is in the upper city, this is the way that rich people get around. They get around in palanquins. I think they're called palatiers or something. That's the richer class in Baldur's Gate, and this is a very common way because horses are not allowed, so you have to have people carry you everywhere you want to go. So, it's
a
not
rickshaw, except people carrying you the whole
right.
time.
It's not unheard of
No wheels.
to see this. It's a thing that people do and people use very frequently. Some of them are screened, some of them have curtains. So this would be the perfect way for someone to make their way through the city if they don't really want to be seen, if they've got the skills or the money to obtain one of these items. And in the meantime, you guys can also see that the group here, it appears that like some of the faces that you recognize are purchasing wagons, purchasing supplies, getting everything ready. And as the day wears on, you can see items being loaded into the wagons, and it looks like things are getting prepped to start moving on.
We can determine when it's time to roll out. Do we interact with somebody? Do we hear something?
Yeah, so Akin Celaban had told you that what typically happens is that different merchants will all come together and they'll travel in the caravan. So we'll just say, like, as you guys are watching, all of your stuff is already prepped and ready to go. Like you kind of had a ready to go at a moment's notice because you've been waiting for days and days and days. So
6 barrels are already loaded.
everything's
onto
ready.
A cart.
Your horses are there. Everything is kind of like waiting in Akin's area, and he's been waiting for you guys to just give him the sign so he can help lead your horses over. So if you're ready to go, then essentially I'm just gonna move through this because it's not worth the spending all the time. You all eventually would, like, you follow this group, this one particular group, and you can see like 3 wagons. What's going on?
I was really trying to figure out what
Before we actually leave, I just Erdnot would have offered
Sorry.
kind of begrudgingly, but not too begrudgingly, whatever he has in his small weapons and armor arsenal to anybody who needs stuff right now on this journey. So, I mean, if anybody needs a reminder of what's in there, I can read it. But
Wait,
there's
from
that.
our group? That's what you're saying? Is that what you're
Oh
saying?
yeah, it's you guys. I'm not giving it to strangers. It's my shit.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
thought
if
you were being friendly.
I'm being friendly to you.
Yeah, if you could read off that list one more time.
Yes.
Do you have healing potions in there?
Nope,
And am I
but
actually
we already
part of the
stocked up
group
on
now?
those. Nope. Erdnot doesn't trust you.
God damn it! Because I'm a gnome, isn't it?
No, actually, he likes gnomes. Gnomes are a kind of cousin to dwarves, but
Yes, well, I
you
know
are
that.
a stranger who keeps disappearing and popping up.
And saving your ass when I do. I'm just
He's still
saying.
suspicious of it.
Could be convenient ass saving.
Yeah.
Let's see. So what Erdnot has
It's a
in
definite
his
paranoia.
well, it's a dwarfanoia. Anyways, it's he's got 1 studded leather armor, 1 breastplate armor, 7 javelins, 2 daggers, 1 great axe, 3 short swords, 5 throwing axes, 1 heavy crossbow, and a quiver of crossbow bolts.
Well, you don't. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
can I take the great axe? I could totally use that.
You never went to my tavern.
You mean I can't have the great axe? I can't have the giant axe.
What were you gonna say, DM?
Does I don't know. Do you guys need?
What do you say to that?
Do you guys need any of those things?
Yeah, Erdnot, could you go through that a little bit slower this time? I'm sorry, I didn't hear much of what you said.
1 studded leather armor, 1 breastplate armor, 7 javelins, 2 daggers, 1 great axe, 3 short swords, 5 throwing axes. Actually, 4 because Erdnot's taking 1 with him. 1
How
heavy
many do you
crossbow
need?
and 1
Are you
quiver of
carrying all
arrows.
this?
No, this would have
No,
been
no,
at
this
his
is
tavern. No, this would have been at his tavern. This is like retconning.
Oh, all right. Oh, okay, I see. All right.
Well, we didn't downtime
We
roleplay
discussed it
very
beforehand,
much,
okay,
so like
all right, no.
it was my
Like,
intention
sure.
to like
There's this
say like,
giant
hey,
he
if
carries
we
on his
want to
back.
go,
Like,
if we need things, here's some stuff that I bought, stolen or looted off of people over the last 150 years.
I'd grab one javelin.
All right.
And before we went. So,
All right. So
thank.
Alright, is it? No one else? Alright.
I don't have a mace,
My
dude.
shit. You have a what?
Mace.
A mace? I don't have a mace.
that's what she was asking.
I was asking if you did.
Oh. I thought she said I'll take a mace.
Or not? Do you have a mace?
I do not.
And now to get me one
Ineffective weapon.
All right.
Well, that's a lie.
So,
Big metal club.
let me see what you guys do here. All right, so you guys come together and end up joining a wagon caravan that has another.
Wait, Wait, are we all in disguise?
So everyone except for Erdnot, but you wouldn't need to be because nobody. They're disguising themselves from the cultists who saw them in the raiders'
Okay.
camp because they got captured and everything.
All right. Okay. Because I don't want to use up my special code name. So.
I mean, you still can. But
No, I don't want to use it up.
oh, all right.
Before
Later.
we left the
This
before we
might
left
be
the
the
tavern,
moment.
DM.
Yep.
I would have liked to swap out that Mariner's chainmail that I had.
Yep.
When we were on the ship. Put that in the bag of holding if possible, and put on my splint armor.
All right.
So,
Liz, since I'm out of the, so we're part of a caravan, right? So they're kind of moving at a steady pace, right?
Yeah.
So I do the ritual to change Esquiplios back into his miniature horse form.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. You can do that in Blackgate.
Okay.
It's allowed there.
We need to decide what his role is in our caravan because we didn't plan for him.
That's totally. I mean, I
Oh,
don't think people are
God.
gonna ask right away. It's more of a you can come up with it as you
Go
go.
ahead, or not. Go ahead. Go try to pick on the miniature horse. See how popular that fucking thing is. Go ahead. Go for it, man. Go ahead. No, make it. Write a letter. I
My
wanna see what
concern
the
is not
response
about
there.
the horse.
I think.
Well,
I think
the
he's
horse
going to
and
be
I
our.
are joined at the hip. So if you
think-
want the horse, you got me. And
Gokul
everybody
Ari is going
wants.
to be our jester / stand-up comedian / entertainment.
So how this is going to work, and how Akin explained to you, is that the journey from Baldur's Gate to Waterdeep is over 750 miles.
God.
The wagons are horse-drawn or mule-drawn, it depends. And the freight wagons, which is what you're going to be part of, they cover about 15 miles a day, depending on the conditions, especially in the beginning where there is no road that you'll be traveling. You'll be going through the field of the dead. So the animals take
Awesome.
1 day off to rest completely after every 6 days of hauling. So there's 6 days of travel, and then on the 7th day you rest. Weeks are 10 days long, so it's not like it's Sunday and then they get a day off. It's every 7 days. The trip is expected to take take you guys between 45 and 60 days. So
Wow.
you all end up
I stay home. I'm done.
And I'm
Crazy.
out of
Oh,
here with my mini
fuck
horse.
this.
Yeah,
It's
like,
like,
You
what?
guys aren't that cool.
Like, I had no idea you guys were going across the whole world. I was just thinking like a 3 or 4 day journey. I was like,
Well, they're
where are you
going-
going?
Shizzy Wizzy, come
This
with.
is insane. Why do you have to go there? It's crazy far. Stay home.
Despite
We're getting money.
the very persuasive argument from Uncle Ari, you join a caravan of 7, so you're a total of 8. And I actually have a handout that I'm going to give you of all the people that you are now with. But I will just go
Yay.
through it a little bit so that you kind of get an idea. So what you notice is that in your caravan, it appears that 3 of the other 7 wagons are the cult. And nothing's really identifying their wagons except that you guys kind of are familiar with a couple of the faces. They look like just typical merchants that are hauling freight. And with your group here, hold on, I just lost my note of who you're with. Okay, so in this first wagon that you meet up with, the merchant is a male half-elf whose name is Bade, and he his plan is to actually make money on the road selling ale and beer to travelers because there's just so much of it like in the cities. So he's actually going to try to sell his wares as he goes to people. And again, I'm going to give you this handout, but he has his teamster is a male halfling named Losvius, Long Nose. His nose is pretty big, but
Liz, how's his butt?
well, he's a little older.
No.
Is
You know
that
what they
long?
say
So he
about
covers
long
it.
nose.
He's got a long ass.
Everything long.
I didn't do that
It's
detailed
a
of an
halfling.
NPC.
It's long, but half.
But half.
Does he have pancake butt cheeks?
Maybe you'd have to get to know him a little bit better. And you see, traveling with them is a human lawyer. Actually, it's this guy with like shoulder length brown hair and glasses, and he's got his own horse. And he is on his way out, and you can see like in the beginning when he's first talking to Bade, the merchant, you know, he's kind of trying to haggle a deal to go along with them, and he ends up not really winning that one, a lawyer versus a merchant. But then the guard that he has hired is a female shield dwarf named Eldkin, and she is pretty quiet and just kind of hangs out with that group. The next wagon is a female moon elf merchant named Edhelry, and she is selling exotic wood from the jungle of Chult
Supermarket.
for master carpenters and cabinet makers of Waterdeep. So she's going straight to Waterdeep, and the wood that she's selling is to make exquisite furnitures. Let's see here. Then
Nice wood, lady.
her teamster is another halfling named Enam, and Enam Tobun, and he's pretty experienced in terms of making this trip multiple times, and so you'll learn more about him as you guys go. All these people, I have a whole thing. Then there's a traveler with them as well, and it's a male rock gnome actually named Radisir, and he's very quiet. As you guys head out, he's very quiet in the back of the wagon of Edhelry. He just kind of doesn't really interact with anybody and hasn't really given any information as to why he's with you all. And then they're
Sure, but you're all not suspicious of him. That rock gnome.
He's fine.
rock gnomes.
The rock gnome that saved your ass a couple of times. Like, oh my god, that rock gnome you can't trust, the one with the cute miniature horse. Oh, he must be a spy. Oh, but this rock gnome, oh, you're totally fine with being around. Just saying.
Well, he's in a different wagon. He's not in your wagon.
Well.
And then there's the female. There's a female human guard named Lita, and she's been hired by Edhelry to guard their wares. When this group saw your group come, and when you were like, these are all my guards, and you had like 6 of them, they were like, oh shit, we don't have to spend as much money then. So there's a little bit of not as many guards with them as you would think. There's the next wagon is a male moon elf merchant named Nuhar, and he's got a brother, younger brother, who's actually a mute, and his name is Selvek. And they are selling exquisite wooden carvings that are made by the elves of Cormyr. And he and his brother communicate through sign language. And Nuhar is like just really great at talking. He's just very charming and everything. They have a female shield dwarf guard with them named Taijit. She's very quick to anger, and she doesn't like put up with anybody's shit. So you guys meet her. She doesn't like bullying either. So she's like, you meet her right away, and you know who she is. And then the fourth non-cult wagon is a male human merchant. This big kind of fat human guy named Samardag the Hoper. And he is selling crates of expensive... The Hoper, like he hopes. He's the Hoper.
Like he hopes it's a successful journey.
He hopes everything will work out really, really well. He sells crates of expensive, fragile porcelain in a bouncing, jarring wagon, and he's just like a total optimist. He's just like a really, really jovial guy, and he introduces you to his horses, actually, like right away. Finley and Bluebell.
Aww. Oh, I want to meet them.
He's got his teamster is a female human named Warond, and she is like in her... What is her picture? I think she was like in her 50s. She's been doing this for a long time too. And then there is Green Imsa. So Green Imsa is a female human who is traveling on Samardag's wagon. She is literally green. Her skin is green, her hair is green, her teeth, everything is green.
I love it.
She readily admits to all of you that she's traveling to Waterdeep to try to get cured of her condition.
Being green? Because it's not easy.
It's not easy being green.
What's her name
Does
again?
the carpet match the drapes, though? That's the real question.
Yes. In this, at least for now. At least for now. Micaiah is welcome to find out on her own.
If you don't, I'm gonna.
Her name is Imsa. IMSA, Imsa. And then there is two guards with this wagon. Sulisdag the Pole.
Pole?
The Pole.
What?
And it's because he is 7 feet 5 inches tall. So
okay.
He is.
I'm glad you clarified on that. Because, you know, there's lots of reasons why you can be called.
Yeah.
So in his homeland,
It actually more
Oh, yeah.
interesting if he was like 5 feet tall.
the Pole.
He's called the pole. Why?
You'll find out.
I love that Vidania
about
comes
his
out from
pole.
the field like, the what? Said I love that you came out laughing.
She speaks, but she wants to know about the polls.
I'll find out. I'll let you know.
And
He'll meet the
while
Pole.
we're talking about it, how's his bum?
It's very nice. I mean, it's like, Erdnot and Ari would get very good views of it because he's so tall, and so it's like all that they would probably see. But
Well, I do a sketch.
Like
He
a
does
toy guy. Just
I'm like,
that's a very nice.
That's a good one.
His
and then I
name
sell it
means.
on sketchporn.com.
There you go. Lauren, that's on to add to your list.
Sketchporn.com/gay.
There you go.
Yeah, whatever.
Yaoi.
You know.
So in his tribe, in his homeland of the Shar, his name means tall as a lodge pole. So that's the reason why after 15 minutes. So he is probably the tallest human that any of you have ever seen. He doesn't
My
talk
God.
a lot.
tall.
Yeah, he doesn't talk a lot, but when he does, people typically listen to him. And
I thought you were
then
gonna say people just ask him how
He's
it is to be
90%
that
taller than me,
Excuse
as opposed
me?
to 70% taller than me. That's astonishing.
and then
Hey,
their
you ever play
last.
do you
Do you
play
play basketball?
We just said the same thing.
You should play. If you don't play, you should play.
How's the weather
Never
up
heard
there?
that before. Never heard that before.
So then their last guard on that wagon. This is actually the like fullest wagon of all of them.
Yeah,
Is
this is fragile porcelain wagon, right?
Yeah, right. This is
It's like filled with people.
They have to hold
Well,
all the
travel.
they all have their own horses and stuff, except Green Imsa. She doesn't have one. She's
so weird.
with
There's all these people in the
I
thing,
know.
and they're each holding a piece of
They've
porcelain.
all
Just like one pot.
Just like
So their last guard is a female human named Orvustia, and she is.
Oh, I'll spell that perfectly.
Don't worry, I have a handout. I'm gonna send it to you guys.
Just teasing.
And she's a tough cookie, but she's kind of new to this whole trip. All right, now let me get over to my other handout here that I have with the other information. I didn't realize I didn't save it there.
Could have been a teacher, Liz.
Hi.
Your handouts.
Handouts.
My handouts.
oh, you need
She's
to
like
look at
this with her
projector.
handouts.
You gotta lick your finger like this.
Oh, I hate that. I can't. It's one of my
Start
things.
passing.
It's one of my things. Okay. The next. So the three wagons that you know to be the cultist wagons, and
Why
they're
don't you burn them down? Why are you waiting? Just burn them.
well, you guys.
I'm sorry, that's not Harry talking. That's actually your eviler voice is talking. Harry would never actually suggest that at all. Harry
Not
is
with his
that
message
violent.
spell.
But I am, and I'm just saying, why don't you just burn them all?
Cause
He's got to figure out where they're going.
To know where they're going. If we burn them, then we don't know.
Then you'll
Okay.
burn them.
Yes.
Casing them, like casing the junk.
There will be
Okay.
an opportunity to burn, probably.
By the way, Harry is totally against violence. So
Like burning.
you get to pursue that.
So then,
Front door!
so the first wagon of cultists is it's led by this
That's my undercover name.
human male merchant named Argos. He just says he's selling this and that. He's like really happy-go-lucky, and he's got he's just really jovial and friendly enough. But the teamster there is a woman,
trust him or
human
not.
woman named Philok. And she is actually wearing Erdnot. Now that you have gotten closer and now you guys are starting to move on and travel with these people, you see that she is actually wearing the Kathja red dyed leathers with the symbol right on her chest. Let's see. The head
Information.
the head guard is a human guy named Wexler, and he is also wearing the Kathja red dyed leathers with the symbol.
Torture him.
And then there is another guard there named Armin, who is another human male that you don't see. He's just got like these big teeth, and he's always like got this weird smile, and he smokes and drinks all the time. The next wagon is
And he goes,
beautifully white teeth. The next wagon is led by a merchant named Braxton, son of Braun. He is a hill dwarf, and he's selling art, paintings, pottery,
It's my kid.
artifacts.
Is this?
Then the teamster there is a woman named Mia, and she's really picky about everything, but she's always talking and like starting stories with people that like, remember that time, and she'll like go on to this whole thing. They have a traveler with them named Murray the Scarred. You find out the halfling male, but you can't see any scars on him at all. He's just really like vulgar, and he's literally covered in tattoos. You don't see any scarring, but
He's just mentally scarred.
maybe.
Emotionally scarred.
The head guard is a female half-orc named Hukrok, and she is very pensive, and she can be a bit of a bully on her own. And then there's another guard with her, James, and he is also wearing the Kathja mercenary
His name is
armor.
James?
Name's James. Yeah.
That actually struck me as weird.
He's a human guy.
James.
Um, he seems a little spacey.
Most original name in the whole Dragonlance world.
James. He
No one else
stammers a
said
bit. And then the last wagon from the cult, and they kind of lead your caravan. Like they're up front, and they don't really kind of hang out with you guys all. Just saying, start off. So this last caravan is led by a merchant named Cormina. She's a human female. She's selling. She says she's selling fine furniture for an estate up in Waterdeep. It's she's got like very dark, very very dark skin, even darker than the poles. The teamster is Minxie. She's a halfling female. She's really nice, and she like composes poetry and stuff, and like is a little flighty and dances a bit when you guys stop places. She's just kind of a weirdo. And then there's the head guard is a human guy named Rourke. He always looks a little uncomfortable, and he's always like mouthing words to himself, like he's talking to someone, but you don't like know who he's talking to. And then there's another.
Keep an eye on him.
There's another
rather than me.
Guard.
Keep an eye on him.
There's a guard.
Same.
Not my issue anymore. I got 3 people that I have to kidnap and
so-
torture. So
Yeah, alright, so good. Alright, I'm in the clear. Cool. So now I can make my move.
The other guard is a human guy named Finian, who is like super super nice, like to the point of almost being annoying. And I will hand you. I'll send out this like handout thingy that I made. Okay, I almost had a heart attack because I did like a ton of work and I thought I lost like 5 of my 7 pages. So, I'll send this to you guys. But basically, let me share it with you. I can just share it with you guys.
Please do before you lose it.
It's saved in Google Docs.
God.
Copy link. So you guys can see as you scroll. So the first page just kind of tells you a little bit about the cult wagons and the wagons in general. And then as you go lower, you will see pictures of everybody and learn more about them, because you are going to be spending the next 2 months with these people, and I didn't want to have to tell you about them as we went.
Every time.
Okay. Well, I immediately set Wagon A on fire.
Bade.
I don't trust them.
Bade?
Was
Yeah,
that
them.
the first wagon?
Yeah, that's the half-elf male who's selling. So you're gonna see like PC.
Booze.
Actually, I'm just gonna deal.
Yeah, like the story.
I don't think I can look at it quite yet, because did you do that on Discord, you said?
Yeah,
No, it's on yeah.
the
There's a
link is
up.
on Discord.
Yeah.
I'm just deleting. If you guys
That's
had
Google
joined,
Docs.
I'm just deleting where you guys would have gone based on your roles, because you decided to do something different.
Of course we did.
Of course you did. That's fine. That works. I just had it prepped just in case you did the other thing instead. I'm just deleting. So yeah, you just count your wagon in with here, and you've told them all that you're selling. You're selling ale in Waterdeep. Well, what's your cover story?
I think
barrels
So
of
ju-
ale and 2 barrels of mead.
In Waterdeep.
And
is it that
Yes.
fantastic
Yeah.
mead? Is it that super special fantastic mead that
no,
let us
that
have
super
a-
special fantastic mead is not meant for any. You are beyond privileged that I let you have a sip of it. It's not meant for anyone but dwarves. But very, very, very good mead. is what I have 2 barrels of, and
Gotta be good
and
enough to
4
just-
barrels. What?
It's got to be good. Got to be good enough to justify all the guards you bought.
Oh, believe me, anybody who I will give a sample to people who ask of any of the ale, any of the mead, and they will be like, "Damn, I see why you have so many guards." And I guess if it's up to the DM, I don't know any ages. Anybody 150 to 200 years old may recall the name Brew Bottle and go, "Oh damn, that's good shit." None of them short-lived humans know this shit.
None of those hipster dwarves.
What is it?
None of those hipster dwarves that are like, trying to like, be all, yeah, this is the good stuff. It's like Paps,
I was gonna say
whatever. Yeah.
We were
No,
quite
they're
famous for a
poser.
very long time.
That Erdnot is telling you this as you travel. That
Okay.
they were quite famous for a very long time back in the day.
Okay. Well, I asked for some. I want some. I'm a gnome. Come on. I'm close to a dwarf.
Is that
Yeah,
how it
we
works?
let you have a sample.
And it is. So you let him have some?
Do you a favor in turn. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's the only one here who hasn't had anything that I've made.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you have some of Erdnot's. It was the mead or the ale?
What's he want?
Ale.
The ale. And it's probably the best ale that you've ever had. Whether or not you want to let him know is up to you.
Erdnot knows.
I think he only gave you a sip, so he's just being overly dramatic. He's like, ah.
Oh wow, that was okay. That was all right. I've had better.
So I will say actually that you guys prep, and the caravan is leaving the next morning. So.
Oh God, we haven't left yet.
No.
We still have like 35 days ahead of us.
No, we have like
Oh,
we
yeah,
have
there's
like
a lot.
35
60
days.
So Vidania.
God, I was hoping we were like 14 days in or something.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
Oh no, you have not left.
We are
Oh,
negative 1 day in this 2-month
You-
journey.
Oh
Yes.
God. All right, I'm gonna go
Maybe
back
we
to the
get in the
market
back
real
seat.
quick. I am
Are we there
buying
yet?
at least for my poor little horse to carry. I am buying at least a barrel of rum. I do that. The finest rum I can find.
That should fit on the wagon.
Rum exists in this world? That's a tropical drink.
I mean, there are fireballs in this world, so I think
There's
rum.
the Sword Coast. Oh wait,
Yeah,
is the Sword?
there is.
I'm sorry. Is the Sword Coast part of the Forgotten Realms, or is that?
Yeah, you're on the Sword Coast right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sword Coast is totally tropical. Totally Caribbean type. Fake.
Is it? I was picturing like England. Like, it's just
No,
like
I mean,
the cold, rainy.
Maybe they changed it.
Well,
Yeah,
Baldur's
back in the-
Gate is like kind of almost like an Englandy.
Yeah.
It is getting
I just
cooler
remember
here.
the Sword Coast being like more like piratey kind of thing, but that was like 20 years ago. So
Oh. So, yeah. So maybe on the edges there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess makes sense. I mean, I'm also from very far down south. That would be as shit weather as Baldur's Gate.
Moving you guys back over to the landing page so that you can see a little bit more of where you're heading. So Vidania, so quick question before you guys head out, do you go, so you're in a tough spot because she told you that she would meet you the next night.
Oh yeah. Is she not?
So what are
You can just share. You can just share. Just share. Just tell us all. We'll be okay with it. Totally positive.
She going? Caravan?
You don't see her with the caravan. She's not with the caravan. You don't see her at all right now. So actually, give me give me an insight check.
Sorry, be right back.
So you as the day goes on and you're thinking about it, and all of the caravan's starting to get loaded up and you guys are all planning on leaving like early the next morning, you're having one final night there. You are looking around and you notice or you recall that as you were sitting there with your crew, and drinking, and you had seen the palanquin go by, you saw that it seemed to be heading out of the outer city, and your sister was behind there. And as the day goes on, and then the night starts to like settle in, and you're thinking about it, and you're like, she's not gonna meet me tomorrow. She's not even here anymore. She's gone.
Oh,
Ditched me.
Because they're.
Bitch.
I was gonna say, what a bitch your sister is.
Because you're like, as you're putting it together, you're like, this caravan is packing up. They headed up north, outside, like on the way out of Blackgate. And if the caravan's moving on, and this seems like it's a really quick operation, like they got here, they got their stuff together, and they're gonna get out in 24 hours. Like, why would she meet me? She's probably trying to get me to stay. And then give herself a head start, or maybe I'll not move forward because, it's been an extra day and I'll never catch up to her and I don't know where she's going. Like, all of these thoughts are racing through your mind. Like, she's not gonna meet me. That was a lie. She lied straight to your face and walked by you.
Even a hug.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, I'm good.
Girl's dead.
So this is Vidania's perception of that.
This is
Is what
her.
you said?
Yeah. So this is like her insight. Like, yeah, her thinking.
This is what she. So it's not exactly it's not what she realized. Like this is a possibility.
This is
I guess
what
you could say.
right. This is what she has deduced based off of putting, like, as you guys are putting everything together, and like her sister told her to meet her tomorrow night. You guys are leaving in the morning, and so is the caravan of cultists. So, and then
Okay.
the palanquin went north. So,
Gotcha.
so that's how you feel. All right. So the next morning, you guys have all got your stuff together, and you head off. And your first few days travel north. It brings you into there's like a road, but it's a worn road. It's not like a paved road or anything that is. It's not like the road from El Terrell to Baldur's Gate. This is one that is like more rough, and it is from the wagons making it as people have gone and as they travel. Because as you start to move forward, Micaiah, you remember, like, this is the area where you go into the countryside of the Fields of the Dead. And the road is very twisty, and it wanders through hills that are dotted with like these ancient battlefields and barrow mounds and places where people have fought and died. A lot of people, and Akin told you this before you left, that this area, and Micaiah, you would know this, it's a very bad idea to light a fire on a hilltop anywhere in this Fields of the Dead area, because it will just attract monsters from miles around. Like, you don't want to call attention to yourself, and this leg of the journey is going...
So perfect trade route.
Well,
It's absolutely perfect trade route. This is exactly where I want to send my goods.
Right. Well, that's why all the caravans have to move together
Yeah.
with their guards. Otherwise, the only other way to
Don't want
go.
your mom's artisanal like chest or whatever killed by an owl bear on its way to your aunt's house in Waterdeep. Yeah. Be bad.
Right. There's very important things being sent.
You say artisanal cheddar? Cheddar? Oh, I can't hear.
What?
I'm talking about is there a cheese caravan?
No.
Cheddar. It's cheddar. Say it right, Frenchie. Cheddar.
So because it's so dangerous, the typical way people go, it would be the trade way, which you have to go past El Terrell to Scornubel and then up the trade way, and it's just not possible. The Trollclaw Ford is in between, and you want to avoid that area because it's just like black and stinking water and like poisoned area. So yeah,
there's probably lots of trolls there
with claws.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you don't want to mess with trolls. Trolls thing.
So you got to go around and through the fields of the dead. So
it's like this entire planet is like Compton.
Luckily,
it's like this entirely insanely. It's like Compton in like 1985. That's the entire plan. You can't go to the corner store without actually, risking death.
Except El Terrell.
California love.
It was great. I wasn't worried about a thing there, but I'm not gonna walk
I'm actually
around
just
here.
picturing The Wire in Baltimore.
Yeah, well, that's Baltimore in real life right now, and that was been for like
Baltimore, as they say.
years.
Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore. Yeah.
So actually, I'm gonna have.
Or on a smaller scale, we could call it New Bedford. Doesn't really matter,
I'm gonna have Vidania and Zan. You guys can make me perception checks. And this is just like you guys are you're on the road. You're traveling.
Yeah.
There you go. So
We
actually,
are not going to be ambushed by the undead.
So both of you, at a certain point, you kind of casually get a little bit closer to the cult wagons that stick further away, but you just have very good perception and hearing. But Micaiah, what's your passive perception? Is it?
Let me see.
Should have you up actually.
12.
Okay, yeah. So, Vidania and Zan, you guys, at some point in the first couple of days, you listen in and you hear, on the cultist wagon there, you hear, let's see here, Armin and Wexler, who are on the wagon with Argos selling this and that, the happy-go-lucky one. You hear them talking about how Frulam, Mondath, and 3 guards were found slaughtered by the side of the road from the camp to Baragost about 10 days back. So they are talking about like how it looked like they'd been set upon by like an overwhelming number of wild animals, and you can hear that like Argon and Wexler and then like a couple of more of the people in the cultist caravan in the wagons, those 3, they kind of like go back and forth, and one of them's like, I bet it was the kobolds. You can't trust kobolds. And James from the other wagon is like, no, nope, you can't trust kobolds. I never trusted kobolds. I bet it was a bunch of them that did it. And you basically get the impression that Frulam was killed a while ago. And, yeah. It looks like it was torn apart.
Holy shit.
Deserved it.
And you
No
recall...
more bad, no more bad poetry from her.
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
And with her dies the bad.
Hard end.
And you can hear that, like, nobody can prove that it was the kobolds, but the humans, especially in the group, are, like, pretty convinced when they're talking about it. And then at a certain point, see here, one of the merchants, so, like, Braxton, the hill dwarf male, he, like, shoots over, like, a really dirty look to the humans who are talking, and they all kind of, like, stop and get really quiet, and they don't talk about Frulam anymore. But you guys do recall, Vidania and Zan, that when you met up with Lenithon, she had told you not to worry about the fact that you didn't get her that gem. Alright. So, I'm gonna,
Who's eating snacks?
Convey to the rest of us.
I don't know. No one on video.
Actually, I can't. You're the only one I
Guys.
can't see right now.
I'm eating snacks.
Guys, I have something to say. Mom is dead. Torn apart by kobolds. I don't speak.
Frulam is
I
dead.
hate when that happens.
Good news indeed.
Last week, I thought everything had gone wrong, and then I got torn apart by kobolds, and then I knew the whole week was shot to hell.
The question is,
You know how long it takes to
who leads
come
the
back from
cult
that?
now?
Well,
Frulam
Frulam wasn't the leader.
No.
She was in
Was
charge at the camp. There's still
She spoke
I-
of somebody else at one point, didn't she?
Still Resmir.
yes.
There we go.
and
Do we know what Resmir is?
Yeah.
so if, so,
Not talking.
huh? Alright, make a wisdom check. See if you can recall.
Say me.
Sorry? Me?
No, Arik.
Oh boy, you want me
Oh,
to make the
God
wisdom?
damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm not the
Ah.
guy. I pick things up. I don't.
Why did you pick her?
If you ask,
Actually,
you get to do
I'm not
the
that
roll.
wise. I'm not that wise either, so it doesn't
Why didn't it work?
I'm looking smart, but I'm not wise. There it is.
Oh, that's not bad.
Hey,
Hey,
There you go, wise guy.
What was it?
Yeah.
16?
Yeah.
hey, fucking wise
Yeah,
guy
you
over here.
fucking wise guy over here.
So you
Fucking
do
awesome.
remember, even though you don't have the documents anymore, that in Frulam's letter, she did refer to Resmir as having dragon blood, as being a dragonborn,
So I would say
or
to
she,
the guy.
yeah,
Sorry.
she inferred
Oh,
it in one of her first letters that if she had, that Resmir, Worm Speaker Resmir, she would have risen higher than Worm Speaker Resmir if she had the gift that Cyan has and Resmir has, which is
I would,
dragon blood.
Since I'm not usually very smart with this kind of thing, I'd go, and I would tell everybody else in a prideful tone, almost, the fact that I was able to remember that, even though my guy barely knows how to read. So yeah, Eric barely knows how to read, yet somehow he remembered that Resmir is at least a at least a half dragon, dragonborn.
Dragonborn.
Can you remember the dragonborn? And did we all saw, or we were all alerted to the dragonborn that was in that palanquin, correct?
I mean, I alerted Vidania. I don't know if she alerted everybody else.
Yeah, 3 of you saw.
Three of
So
us saw it.
So you
And
guys
we
told us.
knew that I was connected with the cult, right? Or we assumed.
Yeah.
All right. So I would remember that.
I think as long as we
Resmir-
assumed, and then we would have shared.
I would remember that Resmir is a dragonborn. We just saw a dragonborn that you guys said was black, and I remember, or what I remember,
It wasn't black.
all
It
the
was,
black.
we just saw a shat like an outline.
Didn't you say it
I
was
thought
dark?
it was black.
it was
Oh,
a
yeah,
dark
it's dark.
outline in
Well,
the.
it was
Like-
It was an outline. We didn't actually see
Oh.
the color.
I assumed it was black because I thought.
Well, you know, that's because I did a bad job relaying the story.
There we go.
So it's not your fault. It's mine.
Okay. So yeah, I would tell everybody that. I'd relay that to everybody. While I eat a chip.
All right. So
Doritos.
It's amazing how good stuff that you don't hear.
Catch every burp and every chip
It's like
crunch.
if my
no
cat
matter
farts
what.
in the next room, you're gonna hear it, but you're not gonna hear what I actually say.
If you want to hear like half a conversation, good luck.
Yeah. Yeah.
all right. So let's see. So how about somebody give me a roll on a d6. Anybody? Random d6.
What?
Somebody roll me a
What?
d6.
Can I do that?
I'll take the first one.
No, you guys do that.
Well, there you
Dan.
go.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So it's day 3
Oh,
on your trip.
too late.
And
That doesn't count.
huh? Oh, yeah.
Come on, doesn't count.
So it's day 3 on your trip, and the morning begins, and as you're cresting this like one hill, you can see a freight wagon that is stranded on the road, and you can hear a fight happening. Like as you crest this hill, you see this wagon. You can see the wagon is stranded on the road, and the draft animals are dead. There's a merchant, human, and 3 additional people who are like dressed in. You assume that they're guards for that merchant, and they're sheltered underneath the wagon. And you can see that they have crates that are dragged between the wheels for cover, and they're shooting these crossbow bolts. But there are 6 hobgoblins and a hobgoblin leader assailing them, and they're just kind of like keeping them under siege, and like are happy to do so for as long as it takes. So one thing, Micaiah, you notice that these are Urshani hobgoblins. You've come across these before. They are especially and unusually savage. And they've got wolf furs and painted warg heads on their shields, and they've got like other wolf iconography like all over them, and they are just like assailing these people in this tent under the wagon.
No.
This is like a separate wagon, not part of this convoy.
No, you crested over a hill and you saw a wagon.
About how far away are they?
They don't notice you right now. They're probably like about let's say like 300 feet or so ahead of you. Focused on what they're doing.
Does anybody in any other wagon make any kind of motion to either help? Do they say anything?
Yeah, so the other wagons, they start to prep themselves, and the head guard of the first wagon, Eldkin, the shield dwarf, she kind of turns to everyone and she's like, well, I don't know what you guys want to do here. I've done this this trip many times, and this is something that we're gonna come across. We can help these people.
You know, I don't know if we should take sides, guys. I mean, we don't know which side's right. Honestly, you know, maybe there's history here that we just don't understand.
She looks over at you and she's like, "Is the
What?
gnome with you? Who's with this one?"
Zan is just gonna ready his bow and start
Not
to get
playing
ready
with
to
us.
knock an arrow.
Oh, okay, we're gonna kill these guys. All right.
I'll load my
out,
cross.
ready.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll load my crossbow also.
Okay. So
I just didn't want to pressure you guys to make this decision. You know, I wanted to be like the voice of reason or something to keep you from doing what I wanted you to do.
Whenever there's something to kill, the bums of Greenest will be there.
and actually at that point the lawyer Aldor, he kind of rides up just slightly, not towards them but towards you guys on his horse, and he's like,
Does he have like a brand on his forehead?
yes, essentially he does.
Lawyer.
The picture that I chose, like, he looks like a lawyer. So he rides up a little bit and he's like, isn't there any way we can just go around? Why do we have to get involved in this? We don't know what. Those guys look really
Maybe
rough.
you should look
Who
that
wants
up
to
in one of your books. That's what Harry says.
If
One of your law
that
books.
was
Is there a law about that?
He's like,
if that was you,
good one, gnome.
If that was you underneath that
actually,
wagon.
Why are we listening to you?
If that was you under the wagon, what would you want passerbyers to do?
Well, I would want you to help me, but that's not me under the wagon. These are people we don't know. So I'm just saying, you know.
What makes you think those hobgoblins are going to stop and not just attack us in the next day? We should take them out while they're actually, I don't know, not prepared for us to attack them from behind.
He like rolls his eyes and he's like, well, there's eight of us full of wagons here, and there's only one there. They were stupid for going on their own anyway. Well, whatever. It's your skin. And he like rides back off away from you all.
Actually, it'll be your skin too if we die, because then there'll be nobody to protect your sorry legal ass.
Ooh, Uncle Ari does not like lawyers.
He doesn't respond. His horse gives a little like
fucking overruled is what I'd yell.
I'm very
As he
confused
rides
because
away.
dwarves don't have lawyers, so he doesn't know what the hell that guy is.
Actually, I bet the
They
dwarves
have
have the
Judge
best
Judy.
lawyers. Imagine a dwarf lawyer. They probably
Professional
like
liar.
They're they have like so detail oriented. I could picture them having like law books that make the Library of Congress look like children's library.
So we have plenty of laws.
They
Just
probably
no
take like
lawyers.
20 years to actually make a decision. Go through all the appeal processes. and
they've got the
everything.
time.
Yeah.
Well, Erdnot, now imagine somebody who takes said laws and twists them to their own needs. That's a lawyer.
Can I
So we
be
should
sure
kill 'em.
to say that we can't leave these people? We can't leave these guards
Yeah.
in there.
So
Yeah,
Tai,
no,
I'll say that.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
yeah. So Taijit Skesh, sorry. The other shield dwarf guard who's with the brothers, their wagon, she like hops off of her horse and she's like, all right, are we doing this or what? And her and she and Eldkin, the other shield dwarf, they just start heading in that direction. So let me just.
Liz, how far away is the actual encounter?
You're about like 300
sorry,
feet.
boys.
You're still about 300 feet away. I'm just
Only
trying to
about
see.
100 yards.
Huh?
Only about 100 yards.
Yeah. Right.
Technically, I suppose that we should wait for the word of our employer, since he's paying us.
Correct.
Not
Unless someone
nods.
yells out, God, they're going to attack us.
But in order to keep up appearances, Erdnot's not going to go with you. He's going to stay at the cart. But the rest of you can go.
I'll nod to
Good.
Erdnot and then I'll ride off into battle. That's all I need.
Ride off into bed.
Yep.
The way you just said that.
I start running. I start running with my crossbow
Oh, his little legs.
and screaming.
No, do you mind? You guys ever see those screaming frogs? Like the little, like they go. Ee!
Yes,
That's what I remember.
that's what the bullfrog sounds like. They go,
Alright.
How far away is this happening from us, did you say?
Probably
About
with a giant crossbow.
300 feet or like 100 yards.
Oh, okay, I can't. I was gonna say, like, I can help with certain spells that are concentration that, like, people won't be like, hey, he's actually fighting, but not at 300 feet.
I want to tie our secure Balu, and if anybody else is running, or if I can jump onto Eric's horse as he's going, then I'll do that.
Let's do it.
I forgot that you were talking about the horse, and I'm like, who the hell are you tying up?
Time, right?
Who's she tied up now?
Correct me.
You
can
stay
I
here,
still
I'll
move
be
with my
right
full
back.
move and still actually take a regular action?
And-
Got
actually
plenty of
cast a
rope.
spell?
What was that?
Very, very expensive rope.
Can I move at my full move and still actually just cast a spell while I'm doing that?
Yep.
Or is that like? Okay.
Yeah, you can.
All right. So how many hobgoblins are there?
There are 7 total. I'm building out the map real quick for you guys. Sorry, I didn't expect us to get this far. So
And then
For
one
once.
hobgoblin lead.
You expected us to bullshit and waste more time than we
I
did,
did.
you?
I did. Usually that
I
happens.
mean, typically we do.
So here, let me throw you guys onto
We need to
this.
talk about more butts.
Well,
mean, we
as you're
can.
doing,
You
as you're doing that, as I'm riding, I want to really coolly like extend my arm. Abaddon grabs it and swings up onto the back of the horse like she looks like a goddamn Avenger flying through the fucking air and lands on the
or like
back of the
some
horse.
like
I mean,
Legolas.
you do acrobatic checks.
I know.
I think you need to do that.
Earthbind. I was gonna cast Earthbind on one of the attackers. That's why I was asking because they're within my range of the spell.
Right. And I would
First
fire
time?
a crossbow
That's
bolt
fire.
as soon as I'm in range on the horse.
I think I.
And the Earthbind thing has a range of 300 feet, so
Oh
I'm
shit.
sure it'll.
They don't see us coming anyway, right? So we would have an advantage.
Yeah, they seem pretty
I mean,
I would hope.
no. You guys aren't being quiet.
No.
You just said that you
The
jumped on
Avengers
horses and
music is
ran.
blaring out of nowhere,
I
so
know,
that
as I
totally
said,
tipped
like,
them off.
Ari jumps,
Screaming.
starts running with his crossbow, and he just goes, ah!
Yeah,
Ah!
you
So that
guys
Kinda gave it
already.
away.
You guys already kind of said.
I'll do her.
All right, what did I say? These are hobgoblins. I don't have hobgoblins on here, so we're just gonna pretend that my bugbears are hobgoblins.
Yeah, fine, whatever. Man.
I apologize for my DM inabilities.
I think, should we apologize for your expectations of us?
Let me just make sure. Nope, I did not give them. I think most of you should be okay with this, except Erdnot. And I think Badania had a problem. Nope. It was Zan, maybe? Can everybody move their tokens just real quick? I just wanted to... I think you can.
Yes.
Alright, I think you're fine. Alright. Alright, so you see this cart. Let's see, we'll use this one.
I don't even remember what I can do for combat. It's been so long.
Right?
I can talk about my personal problems, but how do I fight again?
We could overshare. We could overshare people to death. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can do that. This is dead. But I don't have a dead horse I can do. Not yet. I use
That's okay. We'll just remember it's dead.
my
Just
stuff
standing dead. Bleh.
I use stuff from 2 Minute Tabletop, so I have them credited.
They have
him
pictures
credited.
of, like, beef jerky.
Huh?
Pictures of beef jerky that could be the dead horse.
Well, I mean, I've got a live horse that we can pretend is dead. If that's cool.
I don't know. I like the beef jerky
Just
idea.
teasing.
All right.
Teasing.
So is that's like a cliff right there, or is that just rocks?
Yeah, you guys are up on top and you're running down this hill.
Okay, but there's not a cliff.
These are rocks. Like, yeah, you're gonna have to go around or jump down here.
Okay.
Like this
So
is
how
a
high-
rock. This
how
is
high is
rocky
that?
So
terrain.
did we roll initiative yet?
No, not yet. I'm still putting all the bad guys down.
Well, me and Abaddon are on the horse anyways. Right.
Wait, we're only 25 feet. Oh, I mean, yeah, narrow.
So that grid's a
Okay.
5-foot scale.
5, yes.
Hey,
What time of day is it? DM?
It's morning, so it's probably like 10 o'clock,
9:35.
9:33, and 45 seconds.
9:33 and 45 seconds.
It's a third cup of coffee time.
I'll note it.
Third breakfast.
For Hobbit.
Different one.
And also just a logistics question, I suppose. So we'll all have a turn. They'll have turns. Will the people trapped underneath the wagon also have turns in this?
Maybe.
Are they involved in initiative? Okay.
They are definitely, they are trying to protect themselves, so maybe. You don't know anything about, like, if they're hurt or, anything.
Got it.
Oh my god.
Something scary?
Huh?
Is it something scary, Liz?
No, I'm just taking a
No.
very long time to do shit, because I gotta, like, make it pretty. Alright. That's good enough there, and then I wanted to put the people, so I'm just gonna mark the people as numbers and letters. So
No yawning, Abaddon. I saw that.
there are 3 guards and 1 humanoid, and these people are 1 merchant, and they're underneath, obviously underneath the cart there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This pink one is the leader one that you saw, and it is not actually right there, back here. All right, so you ride up, and yeah, everybody can
Okay.
roll initiative.
Mine's awesome.
Do I roll initiative?
No, you're not anywhere close, so I'll actually remove you unless you decide to come in later.
Wow, I actually didn't roll as bad.
In trying to keep with appearances, I'm only going to fight if like things come close and attack the caravan itself. Like this situation, I feel I would not leave my shit unprotected, and even though I really, really want to go and smash some heads.
Okay.
I'm jealous, or not as very jealous of this.
We get to kill things and you don't.
Hey, Erdnot doesn't particularly go around getting his jollies off killing things, but it's the thrill of combat and saving people. That's where he gets his jollies.
Kaya, me, Kurt. Oh no, Vidania.
Don't rub your eyes either. That means you're tired. Oh, and then she yawns. She's rubbing and yawning. Jesus Christ.
Started with the combat. Kick it for the
I'm
sleep yet.
not a night
We're
person.
fighting.
Way
Fighting.
past my
We're all gonna
bedtime.
sleep when we're fighting. That's a sure way of losing a fight. Going to sleep.
I'm yawning. Abaddon is like, yeah, baby, it's 9:30. I've had my second pot of coffee.
All right, so all right, let's start this. Vidania, what did you get?
I don't know. 15.
15?
16.
Zan,
20.
Abaddon. What was it? 4? Okay. Micaiah.
Fart.
17.
Eckert. Eric.
12. Did mine actually? Can you guys actually see mine? Because I had like a little message up
Yeah.
with it.
Ari.
Sent for some
14.
All right.
figures that me and Abaddon on the horse actually get like the lowest.
It's like
You
you're
guys just
holding
don't
the
know how to
horse
ride
back
horses,
a bit.
right? You just like, back up. No, wait.
Kill.
So
We were just both in amazement at like the way you sailed through the air and landed on the horse. So we just had to take a pause. We just had to pause and like enjoy that. That's all.
It's like that works out way better than I thought.
I thought she was gonna go fucking flying.
I lost one tooth.
all right, so let me just throw the numbers in here so that I know who's who.
Oh, two's done.
Oh, the
I'm
tea's been
gonna check.
putting the tea down. Shit's getting serious.
I think we're all gonna die.
All right.
Just a quick question. Would we have, before we went out, maybe distributed some of our health potions out of the bag of holding?
No, we discussed that, and then we didn't do it like idiots.
Yeah, no, you didn't. You guys didn't do it.
Oh, that's a bummer. It's a learning experience, folks.
Yeah, afterwards you can. All right, so this one is
We drag away our bodies.
So you guys make an awful lot of noise as you run up, and the two other shield dwarves are actually going to join in on your battle here. So I'm gonna throw them in. Huh?
What are those? The star and the other one.
Yeah, the Taijit and Eldkin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm a screaming baby.
Uh-oh. Alright, so we'll ignore the screaming baby, and I'll just keep going. Those blankets are gonna come in, and I swear, if it doesn't work, then I don't know. Your children are
Demons? Yes.
The
Dog is crying.
the
Oh,
tough.
minute.
I mean, you saw Ben in action. All right, so this first hobgoblin here is going to. They've all got their longbows out, so he's actually just gonna turn and. Oh, you're not here, Erdnot, so I'm just gonna move you off of the board.
I've gotta be technically. I should be here.
Oh man.
That's you. Yeah, that's Abaddon.
That sounds like a demon.
Which one's
Sounds
that?
like
Is it both of
Daddy
them?
has to go in there and
Hobgoblins
help
who
on
war
that.
I
crime.
hear my dog crying because he cries when the baby cries.
Oh my god.
Nightmare.
our dog cried and every one of these kids cried, like there'd be endless crying in this house.
So this one sees you guys coming up on the horse, and it's actually going to take a shot at you, Arik. And you see all of them turn to look at you as you come up. They were not expecting, like, this is why people travel in groups, because, you know, a lone caravan part is not a good idea. And so he is going to roll a longbow attack here. And I don't know why it rolled. Oh no, it only rolled twice. So 22 to hit.
Duck behind me, Avedon, because I'm about to eat all these fucking arrows. Yeah, that hits.
So you take 9 points of piercing damage as he like shifts and just turns and lets fly. They all turn to look and they're like, like whatever hobgoblins sound like.
That's what I sound like after I just got shot.
Very
And-
dismissive, Liz.
Huh?
Very dismissive.
He's gonna step back. He's actually gonna step back because they weren't expecting you guys to show up, and he's gonna look at his leader here for guidance. And that is gonna be their turn. Zan, you are up next.
So I'm going to Hunter's Mark. The leader has the pink dot.
Yep.
I'm gonna Hunter's Mark that one and fire my bow.
All right. The green dot. 22 hits.
Ouch.
You see the leader turn to look, and then this arrow comes and sticks right into his chest.
Sorry,
Which
my
one was the
spreadsheet
leader?
won't load.
I don't see a pink dot.
The one with the green now is this one. In the back.
Oh, I see where you're tapping, but I don't see a green dot. That's okay. Now I know.
Green and pink dot.
Yeah.
2.
I have to excuse myself for a moment.
Totally doing that.
My turn. Just
Sorry,
mark on the thing
Mama.
with the arrow.
Okay. All right.
Like when it's my turn, I release a titty and an arrow.
All right. So 5 points of damage. So this arrow goes flying, and do you get Hunter's Mark on that? Was that plus the Hunter's Mark already?
Yeah.
Oh, you rolled 2 1s.
2
Sorry.
1s.
Ones.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Holy shit!
2 1s. Plus
And,
3.
like,
See, this is the first combat. We built up so much good roll karma. Like before, we had so many good rolls. Now we're just gonna roll nothing but shit.
I've been saying the whole time that we've been rolling great while we're not fighting, and as soon as we start fighting, it's gonna be shit. That's
Any-
just our lot in life.
Any movement?
The dice take it away.
Zan is just going to, since he has his bow, he's just gonna start. Well, let me move my thing. He's gonna start moving this way.
Okay. All right. Next up is this hobgoblin here. Where's number 4? Number 4. So that one sees you, Zan, shoot at the leader there. It can't really get a very good angle on you being up that way and where it is. Let's see. So
Don't try it, Hennigan.
it's going to move
I got that reference.
like right over here, and it's like yells something to the leader there who just got hit, and then it's going to fire at Arik. You.
Oh shit!
What's happening?
Sorry about that. I was trying to roll up my bag of
Attacked by
chips.
a bag of chips.
Yeah.
Sorry, I must go into battle.
I apologize.
Nice.
For a 10. So as it's it yells back at its leader there and turns and like fires very quickly, and the arrow doesn't come close. It like just goes wide. You don't even have to duck.
Wow, what a shitty hobgoblin.
Next,
Hey, the last one hit me for 9 damage, so I'm not gonna complain.
Okay.
the next, the next one
The
is.
other one's a trainee, I guess.
Where is it? This one here. It also kind of gonna back up to there. And it's actually gonna try to. It gets a little bit less steep right here. That's why they're moving over here so they can kind of see you guys better. It's gonna actually shoot an arrow at you, Ari, because it can see you there. And
That's very nice.
oh,
Well,
for a 20 to hit
ow.
with 2 points of piercing. So it hits you, but it's not a very solid hit for some reason.
Ow.
He's a flesh wound.
And it, yells something to the leader here in Goblin. You can see it on their faces, even though you might not be familiar with Hobgoblin faces all that much, that like a little bit of panic is starting to set in. Micaiah, you are up next.
All right. So how far away are we actually? Like, is it how far we really are away, or are we still at 300?
No, this
feet
is
away?
how far away you are now. 300 feet away is where the rest of the wagons are now.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. So I want to cast Spike Growth, and I'm gonna put it like right here.
Right.
So in a 20-foot radius centered on that point that I just clicked on, there's hard spikes and thorns, and the area becomes difficult terrain for the duration. It's a concentration. It's up to 10 minutes.
Okay.
So I have to stay concentrating. When a creature moves into or within the area, it takes 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet that it travels. The transformation of the ground is camouflaged to look natural, and any creature that can't see the area at the time, but obviously they can see the area, so that does it better.
So what was it?
So any creature that can't see the area at the time has to make a perception check against your spell save DC to recognize the terrain as hazardous before entering it.
Okay.
But they can all see it.
Obviously. Yeah, they can see it. So you did 20, it's 20 feet?
Yep, it's a 20-foot radius.
Okay. That's pretty big.
Yeah. Take that.
40-foot diameter.
Huh?
It's a 40-foot diameter.
Yeah.
It's really big.
Damn, that's big. 5, 10, 15. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really big.
Yay.
Yeah.
I think it's like this whole area here.
Yeah, take that, fuckers. So if I cast that while they're already in that, do they have to...
Bigger than that, actually.
Yeah, it's bigger than
they
that.
take damage?
What does it say? How does the damage go again? Sorry, as I'm building this out.
No, that's okay.
It just keeps growing.
Yeah, it's a little bit more big.
When a creature moves into
It's
or
only 30
within the
feet.
area, so it says when it moves into or within, but it doesn't say anything about when I cast it.
When a
I
creature...
always
Guess
read
that would be
that
up
as
to you. I would think, well, I was just imagining when I cast it,
Yeah.
with these thorns and these things, that if they're already in there, like, why wouldn't they?
Yeah, I'd imagine
Get it.
it would immediately affect them.
That I would imagine, but I guess that's up to you. It doesn't say.
All right. Let me look it up real quick. I'm going to read it.
Things are written like that. I always read it as like, like, why would it not affect something that you cast it on?
What was it called? Thorn what?
It's a spike growth.
Spike growth.
It's a 2nd level spell.
Ooh.
So that will happen on their turn.
Oh, okay.
But yes. When they move into it or within it, so they'll take 2d4. Okay, anything else?
I'm gonna reach down and see if I can feel some rocks.
All right, you can.
Okay, I grab some.
All right.
And then
How are they doing? How are those rocks doing? How are they feeling?
How those rocks feeling?
the rocks are
Are they
feeling
smooth?
great.
Are they jagged?
Yeah.
They happy? Are they
No.
sad?
They're sad. Sad rocks. Sad rocks. All right, I'm done. I've caused enough damage.
Yeah, this is like way bigger than that. One, sorry, this is
No, it's only a little bit bigger than that.
for a 40-foot radius. 5, 10, 15, 20. It's like double the size.
No, 40-foot diameter.
20 foot radius. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it's about the right size.
All right. Yeah. All right. We'll go with that. Okay.
Get bigger, Liz.
Huh?
Who remember?
Get big.
Alrighty. So next up is Vidania, who said she wanted to shoot somebody. So who wants to control Vidania? Lauren, you want to do it?
What's her range now?
She
Longbow?
can hit
Yeah.
anybody here. Got like 100 and
This guy on the outside of the.
She has sharpshooter. She can hit up to 600 feet with her bow.
Holy shit!
Okay, let's hit this guy on the
one?
outside of the damage range.
all right.
Hunter's mark.
Yeah,
Wanna
she
go
would.
next one?
She would Hunter's Mark. So we'll do Hunter's Mark as bonus
Okay.
action, and then let's see here.
Honey! Brian! Right here.
I'll just click on her thingy down here.
Cat mom problems. All the children are calling all the moms.
What's the matter?
Oh, baby.
Just meowing.
What up?
Is that what they do?
So a 10
No,
does not.
leave her.
A 10 does not
doesn't
hit,
do it.
unfortunately.
Next time, tell her that.
No.
With her crying child
Oh,
right
she
now.
failed
Fuck.
in her absence.
Yeah, she failed.
No, I will lie to her, and I will tell her that she won the game.
You win.
How'd it go? You won it all.
Like
You
that.
are a wiener.
I'm gonna say that she stays right where she is because that's typically what she does. Let's see. Next up,
You know her well.
you're gonna move? No. Ari, you're up.
I'm done.
All right, I'm gonna run over here, and I'm casting. So this guy right here, what's his status?
It's fine. Hunter's
He's
mark.
totally unaffected. These guys are all. I can see that there's something bad happening to them.
Yeah, under their feet, the
Alright,
terrain has
so-
gotten all nasty.
Nice. But this guy's free and clear, right?
Yep, that one's
So-
fine.
All right, so he's not being attacked by anything. I'm going to cast.
Well, you watched an arrow go flying past him that missed from Vidania. That's the one she tried to get.
Okay. Well, it's worth trying. I'm going to cast Maximilian's Earthen Grasp
All right.
on that dude.
All right, so they have to do a strength save, the DC 14.
So happy.
Ooh.
1. Nope, that's a 3. So,
Takes 2d6 damage.
so 6 damage.
Okay.
And-
And then as an action, I can use the hand to crush the restrained target. He's restrained for the spell's duration, and that's for up to 1 minute.
Okay. Does he get to make any saving or anything, or that was the save?
To break, he can break out. He has to use his action to make a strength check against the spell's save DC. If he succeeds, yeah. So basically, every turn he can take an action to try to
break free.
Save again against it. Yeah.
Okay.
And I can take an action if I want to crush him, or I could do something else while concentrating on the spell.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah, that's it.
Any movement? Or that was you did move?
I just moved, yeah. Okay. Actually, I move up to there.
All right. Okay. Next is this captain here. And this one looks and sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then like the 2 dwarves who aren't on the screen yet. And he yells something out to this one here. He yells something out to the rest of the group here. In Goblin, he's like, "Oh, shit, oh, hey." And he begins running.
That was totally Klingon.
So he's gonna run this way. So he takes 2d4, was it? 2d6, 2d4, 2d.
4. Yeah. Which one's running?
The leader.
For every 5 feet he moves within it, he takes 2d4.
Okay.
Yay.
So let's do 5, 10.
That's a sweet fucking spell. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Running away never hurts. So
when
badly.
you have a whole big group like that, yeah, it's pretty powerful.
5, 10. So we'll do 64.
Are you rolling it or me?
Yeah, you can roll it. Yeah, you roll it. That's fine.
Okay.
Your damage.
Bam!
20 points. So as he's running through, let me just double check something.
Oh, yeah, he just gets slashed up.
Murderized.
Murderized.
The ground underneath them all is like these, shards and sharp thorns and everything, and he yells out, and let me see how many hit points he had left. Oh, he's got a lot. Plenty. Okay, so he actually runs. You said it's rough terrain? I should have kept that stupid thing
Yeah,
up.
it's difficult terrain. It
Okay.
becomes difficult terrain for the duration.
Okay.
I forget what that means. What does it mean?
You move half.
You move slower, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm. So he actually can only get just outside of it. And he takes 20 points.
Ow, ow,
Yeah.
ow, ow, ow.
It's like walking through a prickle bush.
And he takes 20 points of damage. And as he's running, he's gonna go ahead and take a shot, because
he's not distracted enough by the massive thorns tearing into his flesh as he's trying to run through this minefield.
One minute.
And of course, he's gonna take a shot at me because I'm the stupid one that ended up running up front.
It's actually
The hell
going
wrong
to
with me?
the.
What am I thinking?
Indeed. Okay, so that was actually its movement there, and its action. So, Arik, you are up.
All right. I will move forward slightly, take the crossbow that's in my hands, and I will fire at that captain, this one here, with my crossbow.
Get him.
All
Did
right.
you guys?
Yep,
did
I
that
see
go
it.
through? Yes.
17 to hit, and that just hits.
Nice.
Very weird. but okay. So that just hits.
How is it weird?
Because
Did I do something wrong?
no, his AC is lower than
Oh,
the
okay.
others, but he's the leader. But whatever, that's what it says on their
He's
character
like
sheet.
walking around naked. He's just like, I'm so badass.
Yeah, right. I guess
need to
maybe
wear a
that
mask.
makes sense.
I don't need to
He's
wear a
just out-
mask. I don't need to wear armor. I'm gonna
He's
just
just
go
out
for the
there.
cameras, and I'm just gonna be awesome.
He's just out there T-posing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hit him and you
Yeah.
watch, he yells out and he's now yelling to like all of these guys and they're not looking happy.
How?
Next up is this hobgoblin here.
Yeah.
Right there. So that one can only move 15 feet, I believe, through here because we've got 30 feet movement. So it's going to try to flee as well. 5, 10, 15. And you can roll the 64 damage. You want to
Yeah.
I think after the first D4 damage, you'd stop moving.
So that's scrambling
just
through to
kinda
try to
going
get
through,
through, and it's
so-
just cut. And then like one of the thorns just like cuts really deep and clips an artery, and it just bleeds out right in the middle of the thing.
Shit.
Wow.
Damn.
Worst
You watch
landscaping
it.
ever.
You watch it drop to the ground,
If he
and
just stopped moving, he would have been fine.
Right.
Yeah, well, clearly he's a moron.
all right.
Oh, boy.
Let's see here. This next one is, where is my number 5? Right here. Number 5 is right there. So this one sees the terrain and heard his leader here, and he's actually gonna run 5, 10, 15 down. So these are like
Wasn't he restrained by the
oh,
thing?
he was.
Yeah, he's restrained.
He's
yeah.
restrained.
Sorry.
Hold on.
Should have mentioned
Who
that.
am I here?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm hearing an echo. Does someone have like a speaker on?
No.
Speaker's off.
Yeah. Actually, Pat, it's only happening, I think, when... Oh, no, I hear it now, too.
Yeah.
All right, so he's restrained, so he can't make any actions, right? That's what restrained. Hold on.
He can try to break free.
Becomes 0. It cannot attack rolls. Can't benefit from any bonus. Creature's
But he can
disadvantage.
he can take his action to try to
Try to get out of it.
break free, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
what
can
it
take
will
my
do.
action to crush him, but I have a better idea.
So, is it a strength save again? Try to get out.
Strength save, yeah.
DC what?
DC is my spell DC, which is
You rolled a 16.
yes.
Whoa, hey, you're back.
Hey.
All matter.
Bless you.
Oh, thank you.
What the hell is my spell
Oops.
DC? Oh, my
Everyone's
DC
just
is
in
a
and out
14.
tonight.
14.
So yeah,
He broke free.
break free.
And then
that's
he's gonna
okay.
run for it. So 5, 10, 15. He's like trying to get into those bushes. You see him start to disappear until the heavy brush here.
Okay.
Next up is, we're at the, oh no, we're not. I've got another one to go.
Abaddon?
Nope, hobgoblin number 3
Ugh.
goes, and that one is somewhere. I'll find it right here. This one. So that one's gonna try to get out too.
And of course, Everyone want to bet? Oh, he went the other way.
I was
I was
betting he was
totally
gonna
gonna
go the
bet
long
that he was gonna run the same way as all the other guys.
That's what I was
It's like
betting.
50
So
points of
he's
damage.
you can see that it's
I
like
was like,
gotten
oh,
pretty
yeah.
bad here. So
Oh gosh,
you
thank you.
still do get to roll 2d4, and then he does 5, and
Would have been a lot funnier if he had run all the way
Yeah, me
across
too.
that circle.
oh, you know what? This guy can go further because that's. I don't know. We'll say like this is as far as they get because it starts to get rough in there. So three points of damage as he escapes from there. And you can see them running off now. And now, Abaddon, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna cast touch on the runaway leader over there.
Okay.
Jesus.
Work.
Where are you touching him? His butt?
Chill touch. I think it's a.
Oh, chill touch. All I heard is I'm gonna cast touch.
You know where she's.
No.
Zap his butt.
I think it's Micaiah.
It's me?
Yeah.
So squeaky voice.
An 18 does hit for 2 points of necrotic. So you see the Abaddon is what is this? Verbal and semantic. So you say your words and do your little hand gesture, and that scary skull face appears and sucks life out of the leader there. 2 points of damage.
So far out of his butt is what happens.
His butt got cold. All right.
It's the worst. It's the worst.
Chill part.
So, are you moving or anything else?
I'm still on the horse with. Oh no.
Oh, yeah, you are. You would, if you're still on the horse, then you're up here.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, I just kicked you off.
Nope, I'm just gonna stay put.
Okay. All right, then we are at the top of the round, and it is the first hobgoblin. Did that hobgoblin die? I don't think so. Nope, he's right there. All right, this one doesn't really know what to do. It's stuck there, and it can see like this one just died as it tried to get out. So it yells something to the leader, and then is going to take a shot at you, Ari.
Fine.
I'll allow it.
Overclass 10. Beat that, bitch.
21 to hit.
Ow!
For 3 points of piercing damage, so the arrow goes flying.
Oh, wow, man, those arrows suck.
And then it's going to try to get out. It's going to go this way. 5, 10, 15. So 4d4 damage as it shuffles through these thorns.
These guys do not understand how the shortest point between 2 points works.
We're just standing still.
Well, you guys are attacking them. They're not going to stand still. Micaiah, do you want me to roll it? No, you're muted. Muted yourself.
Sorry, how many did he?
4d4. $10 points. Looking really rough. It comes like screaming out of there. These thorns are no joke. But it escapes from there. Okay, next up is Zan.
I will fire again at the commander. I have hunters marked.
All right.
Ooh.
A 12 does not hit. So you go to fire, and you're not sure if it's the angle or him trying to just barely escape this edge here of these thorns and everything, but you shoot and it Just barely misses his head. Anything else?
Nope. I'll
Right.
stay where I am.
Next up, then is this goblin here. All right, this one also is going to take a shot at you, Arik, again.
Fucking bring it.
And for an 8, which does not hit.
Yeah, you can keep it. There you go.
And is going to so this is for every 5 feet, you said? Alright, let's see, 5, 10, 15. Yeah, there's just either way, it doesn't matter for him. So he's gonna go 5, 10, 15. So we'll say that's still on the edge. So it's 64 as he's trying to run away. Yep, and he doesn't make it. It cuts him up into bunches of pieces as he runs out of there. So that one.
Nice. Hobgoblin chunks.
It's like that laser net in the Resident Evil movie. Just cubes them. Yeah, exactly.
So did Micaiah cast like
Wait, did you
razor
say you
leaf?
can hear baby?
Yeah, I hear
No,
Malcolm.
I think it means one of ours.
Yeah, mine. Malcolm. Can you go can you...
I'm down.
Is it Malcolm?
Babies.
The true evil. You can try. Alright, next is that Malcolm? Sounds like Ben. No, it's Malcolm. Alright. Because that's not a normal thing, that's just a new thing. Okay, so number 6 here. This one is going to shoot at you, Arik, again. As it tries. And gets plus 4. Oh, that's not even gonna matter. So it tries and just doesn't hit you at all. 5, 10. So
I'm just gonna T-pose on that horse. like fucking like I'm invincible or something. Just, tempting the fates.
he's probably gonna need to get a diaper change because they already had an extra bottle. So 2d4 to escape that circle there on that one. 4. He already heard. Nope, he wasn't. Okay, and then the next is Micaiah, you're up.
All right, so I'm gonna move up next to my boy over here, and then I am going to cast Ice Knife at this guy. So let me see.
That's a leader, right?
Oh, poo.
Was that to hit? Doesn't quite make it.
Well, but it doesn't matter because it's still, even if I don't hit, it's fine.
Okay, right. But ice knife.
So, hit or miss, the shard explodes. The target and each creature within 5 feet and have to make a dex save.
Right. See?
Of 12.
Alright, so the leader does a 10.
Yeah.
And then there's only one more next to him, and what does that one do? That one does a 21. Nat 20, actually. So this one here, what is it? What's the damage?
I just rolled it 2d6, so the leader takes 9 if he failed.
Does this one take anything, or?
Nope, it doesn't.
Nope.
It's not like some of them you take like half. That
Yeah.
one's not like that.
Okay.
Nope.
So this shard like misses the leader, but as it hits the ground, it then explodes, and the leader is hit with a bunch of this like ice shrapnel and falls to the ground.
Yeah, there you go. MVP.
I'm the new Vidania.
You can try.
Whip out my
You can
boobies real
try.
quick.
Just gotta whip them out every once in a while.
We have a lot of people going around trying to be Vidania today.
Dump them out. My least favorite phrase. All right, Vidania, you're up.
Dump 'em out.
I hate that phrase so much. Vidania, you're up.
I hate it too.
Okay. What?
This one is
Who
Hunter's
that?
marked by
Me?
you, right? Yeah, this was
Yeah.
Hunter's
Yeah.
marked by you.
Zan's good advice.
Okay. I'll that one again.
$25 hits, and 11 is all they have for hit points. So as that one runs through and is just disappearing into the brush here, your arrow does what? In the butt? And
What?
What?
In,
You
Yeah, I
do
told
it
you
in the
she was
butt.
getting upset. I was doing all the killing, so she had to.
I can't
some
have
killings.
that.
And
Can I move the hunter's mark to the?
this one? Yep. All right. Any movement? Okay, Ari, you're up.
All right. So, what's this guy's status?
This one's dead. This one is Hunter's marked and running. And
This guy's untouched.
number 3 is no, he's hurt. He's bleeding a little bit. Number 3. Oh, this one, who's that? Number 1. Number 1 is no, he's like hanging on by a thread.
And then, all right, this guy is just disappearing into the brush right now. This guy is...
Yeah, they're all running.
All right, so I'm gonna step up here, and I'm gonna level my crossbow at this guy, and I'm gonna let loose 6 charges at him.
So that's technically you'd be going down the slope.
That's fine. I have a movement of 25, so that's only 2.
Okay.
2 whatever. So I kind of like down that slope, and I level my crossbow, and I fire 6 charges of magic missile at this guy.
This one? Right.
Yep.
Well, yeah. He's only got 1 hit point, so.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna do that. Which of those 3 is actually the least hurt looking? How's that guy doing?
They all look pretty bad. I would say the one that looks the most okay is this one here.
All right, well, I'm gonna blast him then.
Okay.
With 4 charges of magic missile.
All right.
then I started blasting.
Silence fills the battlefield as Uncle Ari fires his missiles.
Yep, and that is pew 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 pew. And this one drops as it's trying to make its way over its brethren here. These force bolts come and smash into its back. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
All
Oh,
right.
actually, yes. Yes. No. Nothing.
Nothing.
No. Never mind. Never mind.
All right, that guy's dead. Next is Arik. You're up. You get the impression that these guys are like they weren't expecting anything other than what they had in front of them, so they're not like they're just firing and running.
All right. Can I fire ye old crossbow at this this gentleman here?
Sure.
All right. Let's do it. Fucking do it to it.
That does not hit.
Boo.
Any movement?
It's all those dead bodies in the way that that Micaiah made that he was able to hide behind. No, I'll just stay right here since I'm on the horse and Avedon's with me.
Okay. Marked the wrong one's dead. That's okay. All right. So next up is a dead goblin, hobgoblin, and then a live one. So both of the live ones. So these ones, this one's gonna run off the board, and he just like disappears, and you can't see him anymore because the map ends. No, he's still there. He runs 30 feet away. And then this one actually does disappear into the brush, and you can't see him anymore. And just as this is happening, so it's been about like 10 seconds, you start to see that the human guards that were hiding underneath here start coming out. The merchant is not coming out, and the two dwarves who were not riding on their horses, they got off their horses, so they're still kind of running up as you guys were just firing away, and by the time they get up, everything is done. And so Tajit and Eldkin come up and they're like, damn, you should have saved some for us. These short stubby legs.
I'm sorry, I got carried away.
And we'll actually end with you guys hopping down, and you can see this human merchant. All of their stuff is like smashed, and it looks like it looks sort of like wine and ales and stuff that's just smashed all over the ground there, but the human guy like crawls out underneath and he's like, thank you very much, but we'll stop like before you get into any conversation with him. And the three guards are looking pretty roughed up, and again the horse is dead, and they crawl out like right as things are finishing up.
Well, gosh, you only have like what, 25 more days traveling here, so maybe we should carve up that horse for some meat and for some extra rations. That's all I'm saying.
As Avedon looks at you like
Good.
to kill you right now.
Terry.
What? Like, die for nothing? Come on.
So
She doesn't like you anymore.
I'm gonna move you back over to the loading screen here. So yeah, you have started on your journey here. That was just the morning of day 3. So there's more to come, and you've learned that Frulam is no longer with us.
We had our first scuffle. Nice.
I know why Vidania likes to kill things now. It's amazing. I feel like I really did it. I'm like, killed everything. Micaiah's just on a rush of power.
Just feels right.
Just slowly morphs into a murder hobo. Just killing everything. Jesus Christ.
I'll mark how far. So there's, by the way, I'll share a link to it. There's this awesome, I'll put it in the player resources if I haven't done so already. Awesome map that is interactive, and you can like get an idea of how far away things are, and you can click on different points on the Sword Coast. So I'll be using this map to show where you guys are, like on the landing page there. But it is amazing, and the amount of work that has been done. It's www.aidded.org /atlas/index. But you can just go look it up. It's Forgotten Realms interactive map, and you can like click on stuff. You can go into certain cities like Waterdeep and Neverwinter, and then some other areas that I'm not super familiar with. But it's really great. And if you're trying to get an idea of like where things are and how far away things are, you can calculate distances and you can show and hide the marks on it. It's just like a really great resource. I don't know if they update it or anything like frequently or ever anymore, but what they've got right now is fantastic. So just wanted to share that because it is very helpful.
Thank you.
And I decided that in an effort to try to get as many followers as we can, because that's when I actually get like to do fun stuff with the Twitch, I am going to, when we get to 50 followers, I'm going to give away through random drawing, and when we get closer, I'll like announce the specific day that I'll do it, but I'm going to give away one of my codes to get a colored plastic mini from heroforge.com. I know, because I got a bunch of them when I did the Kickstarter. I went a little overboard. So when we hit that 50 mark and that like opens up the world so that I can mess with even more things on Twitch, I'll announce like the random giveaway date, and we'll give away a custom, you make your own custom mini on heroforge.com, and you can have it colored. And I ordered mine already, my character, and I'm waiting for her to show up in the mail at any point, and I will show it. I'm very excited. My halfling that I'm not playing in any campaigns at this point, but whatever. It's the first character I've made in like 15 years. So she's mine, and I'm keeping her.
When you decide to do the promo stuff, I'd love to share it on my Facebook and Instagram. So if you can tell me how to do that when we get to that point.
Sure.
Because
Yeah, so I sent you guys all yours, but I don't think you have access yet until sometime next month. So I've been messing around with it because I did the Kickstarter. I got the early access, which I probably should have. Like I said, oh, you guys don't have to do it because I'll just give you the code, but I didn't think about the fact that they'd give early access, so I've been able to mess with it for a little bit. But yeah, we'll do that and see how it works.
Idea.
And we can even, when we finally get back to doing this in person, which I don't know when that's going to be, but we can still, I can still stream it. It just won't be done this way. It's just a little different.
Yeah. And who wouldn't want to listen to us, be awesome, and then also get a figure out of it? Like, hello
Right.
to Twitch.
Talk about butts and get a free plastic mini.
I feel like we should just send somebody like a bum. Just a bum.
Like a homeless
Just like a
person.
like a bum. With the bums of greenest, and that should
Knock on
just
the door. Be like, "Hi, I'm Frank."
You want me?
Just send someone a
You're
homeless
a bum now.
Your compliment, the complimentary bum.
Did the Bums of Greenest win?
Courtesy of the champions of greenest. I live here now.
When the mini comes in,
This is not my house. Thank you.
the mini comes in, it's wearing like assless chaps.
Well, if I scream assless chaps, then my dagger comes back to me.
Oh yeah, right. That is your special word.
So you gotta be careful about saying that, or you might rip this guy's pants right
And remember, you have to do it in your Southern Belle accent.
Assless
You have to do it in
The
the
word
accent.
that you have to use to make it come back to. Oh, there was it. Yeah.
Assless
Oh
chaps.
dear, oh dear, oh me, these assless chaps.
Oh,
It's come flying across the
those
room.
boys just got stuck in some prickers.
Ouch!
Those dinglings tried to run out the prickers. Didn't they grow up go around outside, through all the brush? Didn't they know not to run through prickers?
So
Throughout all the bruise. Oh, I love it.
yeah, so you've got. I'll prep for the next fight so that I don't have to do the prep on here. But yeah, you've got quite a bit of stuff that's going to happen over the next long time.
Alright, Ari turns
Freak
back.
us out, Liz.
He just turns back. He just starts walking.
He's done.
Yes.
I'm done.
Like,
Oh,
"Hey,
you guys don't think
Alright,
I'm-
out.
this is way too hard.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. This was a long one. This is good. You got a whole
Yes.
3 hours out of it.
I'm gonna sleep like a baby.
That was pretty steady. I only had one demon scream.
Demon.
Yeah. Pretty good.
For now.
Alright.
For now.
We had our own too, so you know.
Oh, it's alright. 2 demons, technically.
All right.
Well,
well,
thank you all.
thanks.
Game.
Alright,
Yeah,
y'all.
good game, guys.
Bye, guys.
Uh,
Goodbye, everyone.